the Bay, he'll be very useful.
And our second RAA rookie, well, this man, he's from Lucindale. He's a boarder at PAC at the moment, and he bottom age under 18 last year, All-Australian. So he is touted as a top 10 draft pick for this year, and what a start he's made to his career at this level, averaging 21 touches deep in defence across his first 2 matches.
Yeah, just his second league game. The 18-year-old defender collected 19 disposals, 13 of those contested, so really uses the ball well. 84% efficiency in that game as well, so he loves to rebound out of defensive 50. And he was vital against the Adelaide Crows in that win that the Bays had here, particularly after half-time.
He's got a big job today, taking on Alex Lotto, who's been pretty handy for South, the former Tiger himself.
Underway from ACH Group Oval, the Bays, with Jesse White in the ruck working there against Michael Knoll, one of the new faces in the SANFL this season. He's doing a very good job of things at the moment. 15 disposals, 10 hit-outs last week, Michael Knoll, in the win over Port Adelaide. Oh, Carl Nicholson clean bowled there. And you couldn't find it. Chance now for Little. You'll find him where the ball is. They generally go hand in hand. He's given away a free kick here, and eventually it's going the way of Brad Agnew. So a chance for Glenelg. First effective kick away, out on the lead. Well done there. Nice take by Brad Close. Handled it well, and he was dragged off it after the event by Emmanuel Era. So a free kick going the way of Brad Close.
Yeah, that was a bit harsh there. Emmanuel Era did a great job to lay the tackle and just sort of put him off over the line. The umpire thought it was too much in it.
Marlon Motlop getting it from close, but kick only as far as Rose, the former Magpie who's cut things off, become a real key player in this South Adelaide lineup, one of their leaders. Brings the ball back across to this side, fly at the back mark, not taken by Whittlesey. Quick chance for the Bays through Nicholson. His kick is good, falls fortuitously to get things going from Josh Costa, son of Kim. Agnew on the left, long kick, sitting there, one-on-one. Stretching back, not able to take the mark there, getting himself in a good position with Summerton. Runs over. Here's a chance now for the Bays. Quick handball. Or was it given away legally? The umpire said okay. Noble close to the line. Little give to Haynes. Noble again. Coughs it up. And there is the 5-time best and fairest winner. Little hands off. Got a high ball and a clearance for South.
Big fist came there from Sam Overall to flues the situation, but the Bays have got the momentum at the moment. Good tackle there. Though from Noble, free kick going the way of the Panthers.
Full credit to South Adelaide, particularly the midfield. The defensive run and spread, there was a free kick paid in the centre of the ground, and Mark Noble in particular took off behind the footy as though he was going into their attack. He was brilliant. That kick, not his best, but defensive run from their midfield so far is going to set the tone. He got back and had 2 important possessions right up against the point post.
Tom Shop with it, got it from Jesse White. Now they're running through the middle of the ground. The Bays looking promising. McBean on the lead. They head in that direction. Nicholson floating back. They will get there ahead of McBean and takes the mark. And he's going to be kicking from just inside the paint of 50 on a 45-degree angle. It's going to take a good effort there from Carl Nicholson. It's only a 50-50 proposition in terms of his conversion rate. 10 goals, 9 last season for Carl Nicholson. A very accomplished performer. Had 23 disposals, 10 marks last week in the big 53-point win against the Crows. So from the paint of 50, Nicholson unloads. It's bending back, but just not far enough. First score in the game is a minor one, and we played almost 3 minutes here.
Beautiful strike at the ball, Nicholson, isn't he? Got some flexibility to his game on the wing, or can push forward as well, and really gave that everything. So the breeze John Casey mentioned probably have a little bit of a factor this afternoon.
Joey Haynes to Rose, little flick over the top to Noble, who we've seen pop up a couple of times, twin brother at West Adelaide. Manuel Era back in, provides a tackle, handball quickly flicked out to Joel Cross, one of the stars of the competition. We talked about him at the start, averaging 2.5 goals and 30 possessions a game. Whittlesey, what a great start of the year he's had. 2 big fly. Mark not completed. Quick little give from Jesse White. Tackles Schwartz on there, and he's going to get the free kick to start. So Nick Schwartz, after missing out last year, that's a big fly from Sammy Overall. Great to see him back in the side. He missed a lot of footy last year, but here's a chance too for Nick Schwartz. He too sat out the season with a knee injury and kicked a goal last week in his return.
Sam Overall showing no signs of the groin injury. I think he was tested this week for South, and well, absolute launch of that footy to bring it down. Forward line pressure for South as well, been really good so far.
Flinders Park product, 2 goals round 1, 1 goal last week, and sprayed that one.
Hopefully this afternoon we will see the high scoring that we have in the first 2 rounds for both these sides. South Adelaide looking to spot up that shorter kick with their leading forwards also.
Agnew overran it. Loose ball, finding it on the carpet there. There's Marlon Motlop. Player taken high there. Goes unwhistled. Looks like Nick Little's come off on second best here in that contest. So numbers around the ball for the Bays, and they'll clear the danger zone through Aaron Joseph. His kick out wide. Favours Haynes. Runs back now. Handball was a good one. Intelligent work. It needs to be quick here, and was Tyson Brown playing game number 50. It comes unstuck. Ball knocked down out of bounds. Just on centre wing here at ACH Group Oval. Take a look at Nick Little going in strongly there once more.
Oh, there was a knee, yeah. Stray knee right on the side of the temple. And if he wasn't awake, he is now, Nick Little, but don't worry about him. He shrugged that one off.
Jesse White wrestles his way to the front of the pack there. Tom Schott found it, but he was wrapped up quickly in a tackle. And Little's going to come off the ground right in front of where the ball is at the moment. He's replaced there by Liam Fitt. So White resumes his battle in the ruck there against Benny Haran. Dragged off the kick there with Scharenberg. Getting involved, Liam Fitt once more, out a little wider. Malcolm Carpenter with it, one way back the other, but he stepped out of bounds. No sense of occasion, the boundary umpire. It's all about the people inside the lines.
Malcolm Carpenter, of course, over from the West Coast and previously with Woodville West Torrens. Been a good pickup for South Adelaide. Jared Wright continues to raid the packs of Woodville West Torrens, picking players as he likes. Picked up some really good players in Somerton, now Carpenter as well.
Yeah, also Whittlesey. There, Carpenter, managed half a dozen games over there at West Coast. And there's Little. Keep an eye on him. We'll get Courtney Cramey just to make sure that he's all right. We know he's a tough nut, a little redhead. He goes hard, and would expect to see him back in action at some stage pretty quickly.
Lids was probably just shaking off the rotations there, saying, don't you dare take me out of midfield rotations. I'll be good to go.
Little flick off the deck came from Haran. Curran at it, provides a tackle on cross, and we've got a stalemate inside the 50.
Plenty numbers up inside the Panther forward line, and try to build a wall as well for that kick down the line if the Bays try and clear it, but they're tackling pressure at the moment. This one a little high, really leading the tackle count at the moment.
Nicholson retreats, Max Proud with it. Left foot kick needs to be precise. Noble did well. The mark completed there, and it was a good job from Glenelg as well. With Aaron Bradley in the vicinity. Up to centre wing. It's a tight contest at the moment. And we saw that in the reserves as well. South Adelaide kicked the last goal of the game and won it by 4 points. So a tight finish in the reserves, and expecting something similar here in the seniors as well. Abe Davis, slick hands, works it to Heaslip, got it back when he didn't really need it. He's tackled, ball dislodged. Terrific work there from Andrew Bradley. They've got away with a backhander as well.
Andrew Bradley was like one of those little fish just sitting off the side of a shark then, just really cruising along, waiting for his little nibble. And when he got the tackle, he made sure he didn't infringe against Abe Davis.
Max Proud, best and fairest last year, just chips off to Joseph, goes inside to Chalmers. So Glenelg just maintaining possession at the moment, holding things up, and look at that possession count to start with, 30-21 in favour of the Bays. Kick had a little bit on it. Liam Fitt close to the line out in the full.
I spoke to some of the Brad Crabb fans here for his 200th game today, all in their shirts, the Iron Fist from KI. We've got the stubby holder as well, which I can tell you has sold out. But they told me that Kangaroo Iron had to shut down for the day because everyone's here to see Brad Crabb in his 200.
There's some greats from over in KI. Brendan Lade, of course, the famous ruckman for Port Adelaide and South.
Yeah, David Steckel, I think he was
Dick Steckel,
Kangaroo Iron,
former captain. Played on him on
debut. Did you kick 5 on him on debut, Biggles? I think.
Apologies, Sticks.
Decided Sticks that have a bit of fun with you here, the young Biggles. What were you, 18, Biggles?
Yeah, it was a very lucky game, Marcus.
Yeah, well done, mate. Long kick, but he's a great player.
Absolutely.
Dave Steckel for many, many years for South. Big kick comes from Whittlesey, top of the square. Fly! It's a ripper too. Good hands, Carlotto.
What a grab. Strong hands. I would have thought that he may have had 2 or 3 grabs at it, but this is just clunk in the mitts. Absolutely clean as you like, destroying Sam Overall on the way through. And Kay Lotto with a really pack-telling mark.
That's a good mark. We've seen him play a lot of work in defence. He's kicked 3 goals to start the year, and there's his 4th, the former Tiger.
That's a good finish. South Adelaide did a lot of hard work to try and keep that ball in their front half after repeat stoppages. There was only 1 infringement with a high tackle. Their discipline has been a real improvement I've noticed this year as well, and I think that comes with maturity. They had such a young side, and now they're getting the sort of games played. They've always had their stalwarts, but discipline and tackling today is going to be a feature.
Well, let's take a look at that again on the National Pharmacies Optical Replay. National Pharmacies members never pay full retail price.
Oh, Kay Lotto looked for that on McGarry Medal night. He did not take his eyes off the ball. Tom Whittlesey just around the corner, didn't care about what was in front of him, absolutely just crunched the footy.
Reinvented himself up forward, Kay Lotto. He kicked 4 goals in 4 seasons, and he's kicked 4 already this season to add to his tally and double it. The Panthers looking busy here at the moment. They get it out wide, and Liam Fitt, energised coming off the bench. His kick into the pocket. Didn't get enough on it. Strong work from Overall there, but standing his ground there was Aaron Joseph.
Got some targets, Biggles. When you look up there, you've got Overall. You've got, of course, Whittlesey, who's in good form, and that man Kay Lotto being switched.
Absolutely. There's a real nice blend of smaller players and bigger players as well. They're not too top heavy, and the rotation's going through there with their star midfield group as well.
Well, the tackle on there, just stripped of the ball, was Brad McCarthy. Quick kick comes out close to the line. Carpany and sees it over. It was touched as it was cleared there, so no last possession out of bounds free kick there.
Aaron Joseph was certainly in the best versus Adelaide, and he's going to have a big game this afternoon. Reads the play so well. We know how disciplined he is with his spoils, but he has to rotate from smalls to talls throughout the afternoon.
Michael Knoll just brings it down. Agnew first on it. Little flick comes out. Nicholson, who's been prominent over those hamstring problems from a couple of years ago. This is a nice clearing kick straight across the ground. Gives a chance now for Luke Reynolds, former Carlton rookie. Drops his kick in nicely. Lowers the eyes. Chance to wheel around with a long kick from Hosey to the top of the square. Good hands. Strong hands there too. That is a terrific mark from Josh Scott. If you're wondering why it looks a little different, he's had the head shaved yesterday. He's got a super pair of hands, Biggles.
Now, the kick was really penetrating him, 60 metres on that kick coming in, but the small lead up through the centre of the corridor for the Bays, that really opened up the goal mouth, and then this man here going back with the flight, always courageous, very clean overhead. Josh
Scott shaved the head in tribute to a little 7-year-old called Enzo, who is suffering from progeria, a very, very rare disease. He's raising some money for him, and he's made the perfect start. He'll put a smile on Enzo's face and the Tigers' faces.
Yeah, that's brilliant, and just love his off-field work, making a little man's life so much better and giving him a glimmer of well, happiness for a short period of time, of course, when they are in these troubling times, but he hardly looks recognisable when you've seen Josh Scott over the years. But beautiful pair of hands, eyes on the footy the whole way through the flight. He's one of the only men with his eyes on the footy here, Josh Scott. Went back with courage, pushed back hard, didn't buckle in at the knees, and completes the job. We've got a tight ball game down here at the Bay.
Benny Haran into the ruck for the Panthers, up against Jesse White. And then White wins it handsomely, slaps it out wide, where Glenelg have got numbers. The quick kick there was knocked down from Finn Betterman. Good pressure around the ball from the Panthers here. Glenelg get it inside their attacking 50, but no further. And the umpire will come in. 13.5 minutes played here in the opening quarter. Locked at 1 goal, 1 apiece. Ruck work being done by Hosey, who continues to impress. Slick hands there from Carpany. Out wider where he found Jake Summerton. He looks up to centre wing, and that's a neat kick as well. Coming out, Kay Lotto takes the mark. Hands over to Haynes. He looks into the middle, wanted Haran, couldn't find him. Slick hands there came from Whittlesey. Glenelg getting around it as well, though. But good pressure. Love this from the Panthers at the moment. Up to 11 tackles already, South Adelaide. Glenelg with 8 in that category. It springs free now. Joel Cross Settled too much on it there for Abe Davis, but he's a strong body, gets rid of one opponent, can't get rid of the second. Betterman is there, may have been dispossessed, he's holding the ball. Free kick going the way of Liam Fitt.
Inside forward 50 tackling pressure for the Panthers so far. Abe Davis goes in and gets another crack at it. Liam Fitt, strong, low and hard. Umpire right on the spot. Joel Crossover cooked the kick just over the head of a leading Abe Davis, but they turned around and got back on it quickly.
Kicked 21 goals last season, Liam Fitt. That looks good off the boot. No, just shading to the near side. Just didn't get enough on it. He liked it off the boot. Still complaining, but it's a minor score, but enough to put South Adelaide in front by that point.
Inside forward 50s all locked away at 5 apiece.
Glenelg just methodically out of defence, moving the ball quite well to get things going. There's Josh Costa. Dad Kim is in the crowd, just watching on today. Obviously a stalwart at South Adelaide, Dad. And a couple of flags for the Crows as Josh's kick up to half forward. Big fly. Plenty of them going up, but no one able to take it and knocked out. So it's South Adelaide by just a point.
A couple of key disposal winners for the Tigers. Motlop has 5, Scott has 5, Nicholson with 4, Haynes with 4 and Noble with 4 for the Panthers.
Jesse White doing the ruck work. Nice little clean pick up there for Glenelg. Came from Gregson. Good to see him back in the side after spending some time at Geelong. Quick jumping on it, trying to bring it back in was Hosey. Kick up and Ira takes it, gives it to Rose. South Adelaide looking for a way out, and they've done it here. Little give over the top, releases Noble. He's got to be quick. He was chased down by Costa, put the pressure on. The kick was still effective. Little chance here for the man on debut. Emery gives it to Little, drops the kick in, it works well.
Great work. I thought Kyle Emery may have gone past the footy, which coaches hate. He had to stay that front and square. We're going to get a, just prior to this moment here, the ball coming in. Still went back, though. Handball found the target, lowered the eyes, and South have done a really good job at this leading up. The shorter lead so far. Good opportunity here for Liam Fitt.
Emery's had his first touch and could be an assist here to help with a goal. It's a good one by Liam Fitt. He had a side before and the South have got prepared.
Yeah, Mark Noble did a really good job of just propping on his instep and coming back inside the oval. If he had have taken that ball across half back, continued to run to the boundary line, would have only had one option, and that was to go wide. But he came back on his right boot, even though he had to sort of prop and come inside, and that basically opens up the whole corridor. And it took a bit of risk because he almost got run down from Costa, but some nice ball movement from the Panthers. Here's the lead-up work. Great attack on the footy from overall. They spin around, and Nick Little always precision with his disposal by foot. Laser-like. Great finish from Fitt.
South Adelaide 2-2 leads Glenelg 1-1. The Panthers haven't lost a first quarter so far this season. Abe Davis wrestles away from the Motlop tackle. This is Cross, overran it, had to go back hard and ran into Jonty Scharenberg. Noble, high ball. He'll need to be brave to stand underneath that one. And he was certainly equal to it there. Elliot Chalmers just couldn't complete the mark, but they've got numbers around it here at the moment, Glenelg, as they try and find a way out of the danger zone. Will Gould's kick partially smothered. Motlop gets involved. Handball missed the target. Strong body work coming across Nick Schwartz. Ball springs free is Noble. Appeared to be taken a little high. Umpire didn't see it that way, or perhaps was unsighted, but he'll come in now for a ball up as we approach the 18-minute mark of the opening term. The Panthers lead it by 7 points.
I love the midfield matchup. Jonty Scharenberg, the young buck, 20-year-old, just taking on the gun, which is Joel Cross. And those two boys diving on grenades in that centre square. That was awesome to watch.
Abe Davis, third man up. Free kick going the way of the Panthers. A blocking call there made against Lachlan Hosey, I think. And free kick going the way of South Adelaide. See it in replay.
And fringed against.
The kick goes into the forward pocket. It's ill directed, though. Easily taking the mark there is Will Gould. Youngster with a big upside, but that's a poor kick. Almost cut out by Nick Schwartz. Spills to Little. Dangerous in these circumstances. He wobbles it forward, but not accurately. It's a minor score.
Showing no effects from that head clash earlier on. Nick Little. That one then just couldn't bring the ball back across his left foot. High snap at goal, and the Bays rebound to the other side.
Scharenberg gets the handball out just in time. Motlop, the smooth mover, has a bounce, just cruises up on the outer wing. The kick to Josh Scott. He's got a little bit of room. He's got time to bounce. Handball comes inside. Works okay. Was Jesse White was the target. Kick up now into the pocket. And heard a whistle before the mark was taken. And the free kick is going to be given. So McBean was in the best spot. Took the mark. But free kick. Have a look here. Just being held by Haynes. And Hosey will have it.
It didn't really matter because it was going to be a mark or a free kick, one way or the other. And this one is for Lockie Hosey. He's going to be a bit of a challenge.
A couple of goals last week. Bagged 3 against South last year in round 14, but no, disappointing.
Maybe a clever free kick to give away there. Of course, you don't want the red-hot McBean having a shot at goal, leading the Ken Farmer medal at the moment.
Haynes to restart. Into time on, opening quarter. He goes straight up the middle, looking for Abe Davis. There's 2 to beat. Brad McCarthy read it better than anyone, but couldn't control the mark. Now Joel Cross, that is pinpoint work. He feeds Tom Whittlesey, and this man's been on fire this season. 7 goals, 1 coming into this game.
He's also third in the Ken Farmer. And the former Eagle mentioned in the pre-game that he'd been playing country footy as well. And since 2009 had played in the grand final every year, which is incredible. Played in an under-18s flag for the Eagles. This is his sort of last crack at SANFL footy.
Ambles forward, didn't get enough on the kick. It's going to land in the goal square and was knocked through. Somewhat surprisingly. So another minor score, and South Adelaide now enjoy an 8-point advantage. Glenelg look to restart, and Aaron Joseph will do the honours. Runs out of the square, not a lot on offer, so just going to go for distance. He wants Josh Scott, who takes front position against Haran. Did enough to win it down out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in 21 and a bit minutes played.
Glenelg leading the mark count 19-9 and 12-5 in the hit-out department as well. So they're using the ball to advantage. Certainly getting a lot of them Jesse White.
Kicking efficiency, though, South Adelaide just at 48%. They're running. Glenelg around 69%.
The boys racking him up. Motlop's had 7 touches now. And for South Adelaide, Mark Noble's 6 out on that wing.
Sky ball era. Scott both sit under it and we'll get it thrown in. We're into time on in this first term. It's been a pretty hot contest to get things underway. A couple of skill errors from both sides, and South Adelaide just maintaining that advantage. Undefeated so far this season. They've had a couple of big wins to get things going. They were 36 points last week and had a big win in round 1 over Central. Clearing kick comes out nicely from Summerton, but comes straight back in from Glenelg into the 50. Big fly over the back. Haynes picked up by Costa. Dribbles a little kick. It's McBean, but in front of him is Era. And, well, he cleverly just flicked that up and looked like he couldn't control the ball. Wants to get things moving quickly, and it's Haynes deep in defence. Tigers
fans wanted a throw. Just lost control of it there. Emmanuel Era through for a minor score. Out on the outer wing, Era joins in once more. Dispossessed, looked like holding the ball, surely. Umpire didn't see it that way as he was dispossessed.
Emmanuel Era's got a big bag of tricks, but I don't think he could disguise stuff up in a handball like that. It was probably the correct decision as he was forced to the line. He just didn't make correct connection with the fist. Justified a point.
Brad McCarthy takes the mark, the left footer. It's up high. Scott in the vicinity. And when he's there, he got his hands up. Motlop roved it off the back. His kick off the side of the boot, pushed as he took the kick. A chance now for South Adelaide just to escort it across the line. Ben Haran happy to do so, along with Josh Costa.
Great defensive work from Haran. Had only had one option to get a fist of that. There were Tigers just swarming at his feet. Just did enough to get over the boundary line.
McBean into ruck duties at the moment with Jesse White just playing kick behind the ball at the moment. Over the top was Noel. Again, Era uses the tricks that Biggles talked about. Fitz involved, Little back on the deck, which is good. Davis now just turns it around the corner high. Jesse White in best position. Carlotto comes up to provide a contest. Proud to Joseph, and he's in a bit of trouble. Here he is. Free kick's going to go to South. Schwartz get things moving quickly. 1-on-1. Gould under a little bit of pressure here. We saw earlier on Whittlesey have a pretty average shot at goal, and the clearing kick comes from Nicholson. Falls nicely, and the mark has been taken there by Reynolds at halfback.
Well done by Gould. If he didn't put that contest on, just a young man, that was a really good, strong effort.
I'm sure the scouts were writing that down because he's destined for bigger things. Here's Noble, kick this time, and worked it to the advantage there of Kyle Emery. The debutant couldn't complete the mark. Goes in solidly on the ground as well. We've got a stalemate. 24.5 minutes played in the opening quarter. South Adelaide lead it by 7 points. White in the ruck. Ball spills free for Nicholson. Hosey on the retreat. And he goes backwards to find Will Gould. Going to come across ground. Max Proud with it in the back pocket. Don't have to kick for distance. His option here is Luke Reynolds, who's strong in the air. But Jake Summerton just diffuses that out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. There's Josh Scott. Such a Jack Riewoldt about him.
There's a little bit in there, isn't there? Of course, Jack Riewoldt out this afternoon. Would Adelaide take on the Tigers a little bit later on here on 7? Can't wait for that game.
Followed by the Crows and the Kangas. Triple header right here on 7. No need to go anywhere at all today. We've got all your footy covered. Schwartz gets it and very casually just holds on to it for a little longer. Came under some pressure from close, but now a kick comes and cannons into the post. Did it from Emery on debut.
How did he dispose of that is what the Tiger Army are yelling out. Close with some really great closing speed, if you like. Just chop the arms and had his back to us and probably may have got a fist to it, but unfortunately they got a shot on goal. Maybe the footy god smiled with it behind.
18-year-old Will Gould to restart. Happy to go short. Works it into the pocket and finds Max Proud. One of only 3 Glenelg players to play every game last season, with Matty Snook and Chris Curran. Matty Snook in the reserves again today, just able to force his way in. That's a good grab, Ben Hara. Contested mark. Now he's going to drive it long. Not a lot of time left on the clock as he hits it into the pocket. And that's a good mark as well. So high flying, near perfect conditions here. As Chris Curran pulls down a good pressure relieving mark.
Took more marks than anyone in the competition last year, Curran. The captain wearing the number 5, made famous by Peter Carey, and Super will be joining us at half-time as we wind the clock back. Brown, little give. He slip, gives it as well, and Emery's already had one shot at goal, hit the post. This one goes to the top of the square. Proud's in there, Nicholson as well. Kaylotto with the tackle. Whittlesey trying to get it out, but the umpires let things go for a little while, and now he's pinged them, so it's going to be a shot at goal, or is he taken? It is. It's going to be a shot at goal for Kaylotto. We saw him already kick one with that really strong mark to get things going at the 9-minute mark.
They did a great job of getting in low and hard. Coaches love that one. Ball in dispute in between you and your opponent. Rather than get lazy and over the shoulder, he went low and hard. And then the umpire pinged Glenelg player for dragging it back in.
Kaylotto sneaks his second one in, did he? Yes, just on the siren. So after Glenelg worked hard to try and restrict them, the goal late for South Adelaide. They take a 14-point break into the first.
Richmond from Adelaide Oval. Then every Port supporter's second favourite team. That is whichever team's playing the Crows. North Melbourne and Adelaide from Marvel Stadium. A Saturday triple header of football live on 7.
Out Biggles, but the umpire not fooled.
Max Proud didn't help him out, sort of hatched on the footy as well. Tried to disguise it, didn't make a sufficient attempt. Well, as far as contested possession goes and handball receives all the key KPIs, they're pretty even. We're set for a big game here because they're 2 high-scoring teams, and if we can get the continual hard nuts around the footy to jump on the ball, we'll be looking for that scoring to be pretty prolific throughout this afternoon.
Let's head inside South Adelaide's huddle and have a listen.
We're trying to guard the back, and we're really worried about them over the back. We've got to play front shoulder. We've got to play front shoulder, right? Don't just caravan, stay with them. Back yourself to read the footy in the air, make an impact on the contest, all right? Apart from that, pretty good. Real aggressive ball movement down the guts, right? Really, really good. Let's go. Keep going.
Real good start. Real good start.
I love that one. caravanning, leg rope, ski rope, just following in. The caravanning's a new one though, don't mind it at all. Head down to West Beach Caravan Park on holidays or just not following in your opponent. Great access there from the South Adelaide Footy Club, and almost throughout the entire afternoon Glenelg will give us access as well. But most importantly, Peter Carey at halftime, the great Peter Carey. We're going to look back at some of his highlights, and you always get a laugh with Big Super.
He's a ripper. 1973 premiership player, then 85 and 86. Remarkable career, 400 plus games, and is about to take over as president of the club from Nick Chigwitty.
Second quarter underway here at ACH Group Oval. South Adelaide leading by 14 points. Glenelg hasn't won a second quarter this season, so they've got their hands full here as Nick Schwartz has been busy all day. Disposal number 8 for him. No one has more in the game. And a free kick being given away. Well, he doesn't like it, Tom Whittlesey, and he gives it back to the Bays, who come across ground. So Jonty Scharenberg got it from Curran. And Brad Agnew from Glenelg's been kind enough to join us down from the boundary, so that's a terrific mark from Noble. But Brad, she's a tight contest.
Yeah, it's very tight, guys. They're obviously been a bit cleaner on the inside and yeah, got us out the back a few times. But yeah, it's been a big close one.
What's the key message at quarter time from the coach?
Yeah, just on the inside, we were probably a bit fumbly and we pushed up a bit too far into our forward line, and then they obviously slung shot over the back. But not too bad. Setups-wise and clearances and that type of thing were pretty even, but we think clean those things up and yeah, we'll get back in it. Brad,
Will Gould just delivering the ball then. Geez, looks composed for an 18-year-old boy, doesn't he?
Oh, he's as good as I've ever seen. It's much in the Darcy Fogarty mould, really a bit of a man-child, but I don't know what's in the water down at Lucindale, but they breed him pretty tough down there, so he's, yeah, he won't be with us for long, I don't think, but he's been brilliant.
Good on you, Brad. Thanks for joining us. Wonderful access by the Glenelg Footy Club there, and gee, yeah, Will Gould, he is going to be a player. There is no doubt about that, already getting plenty of the footy to get things started. And a free kick up by Corey Bowen. McCarthy has popped up. He's had a little bit of it to get things going today. Has a real crack at it. Goes on the left up to half forward. Big fly. Came from Costa, was it, with the long sleeves. Kick up and under. K-Lotto and Gould with the punch towards the line. And not quite taken out. Yes, it is. Abe Davis trying to clear it, but the umpire said no, definitely gone out over the line.
Currently the Glenelg defence are really just doing that. They're doing one-on-one battling and trying to stop their opponent. They can't get in, link up and rebound and run. They're trying to win the ball on their own right. And if they can then get the switch or perhaps come through with that shorter spot-up kick, they'll get that free running going that we saw against Adelaide. But at the moment it's all hands on deck, and doing a good job of that.
Abe Davis had the ball land in his lap. Jesse White couldn't get to a shallow throw in from the boundary umpire. Nicholson dragged off it. Comes back for seconds, put his head down, stepped through the traffic. Scharenberg, Motlop, good use of the ball. Brad McCarthy now can go by a foot. Close trying to get back there. He's outmarked though. Too big, too strong. Benny Haran doing a good job against Brad Close. Now he's left footer along the boundary line. Neat kick. Found Joel Cross just ahead of Motlop. Now Abe Davis is available over the top, but Cross is looking beyond that. High ball. K-Lotto in the van, comes out strongly. Saw a good look at it, but couldn't finish it. Scharenberg invented a handball over the top. He was a little undecided there, Elliot Chalmers. In the end, sort of split the difference, but eventually got it to Motlop. Open forward line down there. Haynes scoops it up with the running support of Tyson Brown, and South Adelaide out of trouble. Across the ground they go.
You know, it's great defending from South Adelaide again. Now they've been held up, and this is where the Glenelg press is going to try and force them wide. South Adelaide continue looking to get that shorter spot-up kick in the inside of the ground.
Good kick by Rose. Found Sampson onto Era. Goes into 50. Gould going back. K-Lotto over the top and just close to the line. Let's head down to Courtney Cramy, AFLW dual premiership player. Courtney, just having a look at a little bit of breeze, but conditions look okay.
Yeah, conditions are quite perfect down here. There is a little bit of a breeze coming across the ground to the broadcast side and potentially to the left of screen, but fantastic oval conditions, and it's a perfect match right now.
The ground looks like it is in super touch too, as Scott goes for the umpire said no, close, taken down in a tackle by Era. Crashing in hard there too was Aaron Joseph, and the umpire finally is going to get involved. Here's Josh Scott just going hard and being thrown around like a rag doll.
That new shaved head, you could see the veins coming out the back of his neck and right on top of his skull. He was furious, but it was touched off the boot. Unaware of that, he took the mark, he thought.
Under pressure here, the Bays, but Elliot Chalmers eases that situation, at least for the moment. Didn't get enough on the kick. Matt Rose gets back after it, takes the mark. Co-captain this year with Joel Cross. Looks into Abe Davis. That's an excellent kick, and Davis was all alone. Glenelg coach Mark Stone not absolutely thrilled with that. He's sitting just alongside us here, and how Abe Davis found so much space at centre half forward was beyond him, and this certainly isn't beyond Abe Davis. And he kicked the 1 goal so far this season. In the best players the last time against Glenelg. Top 3 in the best and fairest. He gets it right to the line, and a pack of Glenelg players are there, including Jesse White, to force it through for a minor score.
Matt Rose, his game looks to be going to another level. If you saw it down in Alberton, for those South Adelaide supporters and Port Adelaide supporters who were down there, he was clearly best on ground, instrumental with his one-on-one match-up with Trengove and finding some footy this afternoon.
Big man Noel did some good work there in the contest as South go in. Carpenter picked up and he held on to that, and he's got to be pinged. Yes, he is.
Great tackle. McCarthy going at him and really got him hard with that one arm. Certainly couldn't get rid of it. Carpenter had no chance of getting rid of it. Terrific work.
There's Gould just streaming out of defence, just drops a little kick in, comes out to Curran, who's already showed why he's the #1 marker in the competition, taking a couple of crackers already. McBean close to the line, being chased down by the 200 gamer in Brad Crabb, and will see it over the line.
Well, McBean and Crabb haven't had a disposal between them at the moment, so they're just Xing one another out.
All they do is kick goals, boys. That's all you
He'd take
need.
that at the end of the game, wouldn't he? To be 0 on game number 200 if McBean ends up with nothing after kicking 9 last week.
Rosey worked to the front there. Abe Davis found it on the ground. Noble quickly to the loose ball. Just jams it onto the boot. Overall, ball pitches in front of him. So a chance now for Glenelg with numbers around it. Spinning out of trouble there was Curran. Handball for White didn't do him any favours. Somehow he manufactured it out of there. Gould did a good job. Well, Chris Curran had a bobbling up on top of his head there. Couldn't control it. It's a hot footy again. Abe Davis stood strong in the contest there. And now with numbers back, Glenelg will release some pressure through Max Proud. He's quickly onto the boot though and gets it out to the run now provided by Bradley. Looks up to centre wing. He's got Scharenberg all by himself. This is looking promising now for the Tigers as Motlop joins in. The smooth mover wants McBean, and Crabb right there with him. McBean came back, just can't keep it alive though. It trickles out of bounds where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary line. And we played just over 7 minutes here in the second quarter. Glenelg yet to add to their quarter-time tally, and just one behind so far for the Panthers.
The Tigers are doing some overtime in their defence because the inside 50 count is double in the favour of the Panthers, 21-10. And they've been resolute down there. They haven't had the deep entries though, the Panthers. They've been around that 40 to 50 metre arc.
Clearing kick. Haran just with a little tap, just reached out over the shoulder. So free kick is going to go to Glenelg. Play on advantage. McCarthy's a little bit of a wobbler off the left of his boot. Tyson Brown having a crack in there. Little tap along, close, gives it off quickly. Hurried kick, trying to just squeeze it out. They're unable to do that with shot. And it comes out to Haran and South Adelaide back in control, just streaming out a half back. Whittlesey, a little give. Here's a chance for Schwartz, who's been pretty good today. The kick, not a good one. Proud, front position. Bounce doesn't favour him. Cleverly knocked down by Overall. Comes back to him, but via Joel Cross. Spun around Emery.
Oh, what a goal!
Kick on the ground from Overall is remarkable. That is an unbelievable goal by Sammy Overall.
Have a look at the smile on his face. He had second and third efforts in that contest, brought the ball to the front of the pack. And then it spills, and the opportunist did a great job.
Lead more centre now, not so wide.
Yeah, there we go.
Sam Overall, a terrific kick there. It looked like I thought the umpire was going to pay a free kick at one stage there, but Sam just capitalised and dribbled that few beautifully.
Just prior to this, Sam Overall bringing the ball to the front of the pack, follows out, it spills his way, gets his right boot to it, hits it flush, and a great goal.
Well, candidate for goal of the day, no doubt there, Sam Overall. 10 goals in an injury-interrupted season last year when he played just the 7 games. But South Adelaide have got this well and truly on their terms at the moment, and the alarm bells are ringing for the Tigers. It's South by 21 points. Liam Fitt trying to wrestle his way forward. Coughs it up now, Proud, about to be tackled. Short pass, found Motlop. He goes a little longer up to centre wing. Out comes Scott. Couldn't complete the mark, but he's got it on the ground. Did a good job there against Somerton. Joining in now is Josh Costa. So he goes long. Crab leads the charge at the moment ahead of McBean and takes the mark. And some of the Crab faithful get excited there as he comes up with his first possession. They're doing this well across the back line at the moment, South Adelaide, although Emmanuel Ira bit off a little more than he could chew there, ran into a couple of would-be tacklers, but they found little, and he's in acres of space here. Centre half back, short kick, it's a nice one. So they're doing it very well at the moment, the Panthers, as Sampson looks out wide. He's got more run out here as well. The Company wanted Ira, overcooked it. Handball along the ground from Shot. Gets it back now from Gregson. Good pressure again from the Panthers. Little talked them out of it. On the retreat, going to Joe Haynes. Now Haran, little undecided, wobbles it across to Noble, who has to go back and retrieve the situation, and did it with some aplomb as well. Now the hand pass through the middle of the ground as he gets Ben Heaslip involved. Overall, the target, a little too much on it for him. Good body work there from Aaron Joseph to get rid of Joel Cross, and the Bays will relieve some pressure across the half-back line.
Kick the close, who's come a long way from his post up forward and just cuts it across there to Corey Gregson. Back after some foot problems at Geelong with that navicular bone, which has caused grief for many players over the years. And Chalmers just at half-back looks up, calls Scharenberg to come forward, drops the kick in nicely between a pair of Panthers. He's got a runner now, long kick coming to the top of the square. It's a good one. Scott was in best position and he's been interfered with. He's going to have a shot at goal. Player on the advantage. Costa goes in. Glenelg get the answer.
Yeah, the arm chop there. Great lead up from Scott. Presented well. Somerton going back with the flight, just chopped the arms. And the umpire picked up on the free kick, advantage paid, and it spills. It's the first time we've got some efficient ball movement from Glenelg, where they've really hit their targets up through the centre, low and hard kicks. Great defensive work from the leader down back in Aaron Joseph.
Well, let's take a look at that again on the National Pharmacy's optical replay. There are 40 National Pharmacy stores in South Australia, and boy, did the Tigers need this one, Red.
Now, the arm chop was there, certainly no doubt about that. From Haynes going back, Scott doing the great job of leading up, hasn't stopped moving in that forward half so far, and the Bays capitalised through Costa.
Goal kicker last week, Costa, in the win against Adelaide, and on the board again here today. The Rucks, Noel goes up high, almost cancelled one another out there. Let's get to some Morn team forward footy trivia for Red Biglands. In 2013, which Glenelg player was denied a SANFL debut when he was 16 years of age because he was needed to play for Sacred Heart College? So you've got a choice of 4 there. Matty Snook, Max Proud, Andrew Bradley and Corey Gregson. We'll give you some think time on that as the Panthers move inside their attacking 50. Ball comes to Emery on debut, gets plenty of it. Glenelg have got some problems back here at the moment. Good body work from Liam Fitt, putting it on the line for his team. Agnew came in strongly. He couldn't get any change out of that either. So it's a terrific contest here at ACH Group Oval. And at the moment, South Adelaide's 15-point lead probably just a little bit suggesting more than the difference is in the game, because the Bays have hung tough at the moment. They've won a free kick here to release some pressure.
Kicking in danger here, Overall having a flying boot out of midair, and Jesse White the recipient.
127 games with Sydney and Collingwood. Jesse White almost became a Crow at 1.2. Remember, he had some scans and a bit of a medical. He's going to be part of a trade with Kurt Tippett, I think it was, back then. And didn't eventuate. Kick from Reynolds goes up, looking for Scott. He's going to get the free kick, so that'll go against Somerton.
Free kick count at the moment. 13-8 in favour of the Bays.
Kick taken by Abe Davis just inside 50, so Glenelg just going to the edge of 50 there. 25-15, the inside 50 count in favour of South Adelaide. Kay Lotto's kicked a couple of goals so far, back in defence just at the moment, where he is been known and been most comfortable in the past. Nicholson comes in and just cut things off that kick from Emery. OK, Biggles, here's your chance for the Morn Team Forward Footy Trivia. 2013 Glenelg player denied a SANFL debut at 16.
Sacred heart. Come on, how can you deny a player? Seriously, I think they've had the most amount of draft picks of any college in South Australia. Henley High School just pipping them for the number one school. But I'm going to go with Corey Gregson just because he's returning this year, the former Geelong boy.
Right, you want to run with Gregson? You're spot on, mate. Corey Gregson is back after his time with Geelong, where he played some quality senior football, ended up with 4 operations on that foot. Clever work. Comes out, mark taken by Tyson Brown. Yes, the umpire has paid it. He goes back, wants to get things moving really quickly. He slipped, still a long way from home. 60 out, and going back was overall. Big punch from Aaron Joseph, the little man, the former Blue, just thumps the ball across the line.
The faithful love that in the grandstand, going at it, leaving his opponent to go at the footy, getting across the line. He's a leader down there. When he rises, Aaron Joseph, he really lifts the team around him.
Jesse White wins the tap, favours Little though, wrapped up strongly by Finn Betterman. One of the RAA rookies that we've highlighted here. Betterman having a good start to his career. Abe Davis, third man up, knocked it down to Little. That was intelligent work, but here's Will Gould. He read it better than anyone, knew where to be positioned, takes the mark and wants to share it out wide now with Carl Nicholson. Nicholson over the top. Just measures it to the advantage of Andrew Bradley. He'll go short as well. Lead coming from Motlop. Got Hosey on the lead ahead of that, and he charges out Lachlan Hosey. Look, he's impressive, Hosey. Mark him down. There is a mid-season draft, someone to be selected. Well, Lachlan Hosey's right up near the top of the list for mine. Very exciting young player.
That's going to be intriguing this year, Case, just to see what AFL clubs do. I know Roy Laird's not a big fan of it because it can derail your football club, particularly if it's a key player. South Adelaide already lost one as well in the pre-season.
McBean the target, been well held by Brad Crabb in game number 200. I'm not a big fan of it either, but they're the rules and that's what's going to happen. But Lachlan Hosey, well, he is one for the future. Kicked 24 goals last season, top 15 in the competition, and already with goals to his credit this year, including 2 last week against the Adelaide Crows. He's just one of those players that seems to be where the ball is. It's a good trait to have. Matt Rose wrestled to the ground in the tackle there, so the umpire will come in. 17 and a bit minutes played here in this second quarter. Panthers have got it where they want it. As Little clears the congestion. Kick looking out wide. Free kick, but play onto advantage was the call from the umpire. And the Panthers don't have it now. Cross did well to wrestle out of the tackle there. Back through sets of hands. You got Carpeny involved. And now they'll bring it out a little wider. And here's the debutant, Kyle Emery. Good size about him. Like what he's done so far. This time the kick just had a little too much on it. Brad Agnew will have scored it over the line in front of the Glenelg race. And a boundary throw in.
A beautiful front and square from Hayden Sampson in the centre of the corridor. Watched the flight of the ball over his shoulder and hit it at full pace. Took it off hands and gave it off. It was really well done.
Couple of minutes from time on. South Adelaide, 15-point lead. Motlop shoots a little handball over the top. McCarthy on his left, close to the line. 2-on-1 situation. Punch over the back from the 200 gamer, and Kay Lotto was at the front, so South Adelaide had things covered pretty comfortably on that occasion.
The Brad Crabb stubby holders sold out, Case.
Sold out, the 200 gamer. The king of KI.
Popular man. Well done. If they can get up today and celebrate the milestone, there'll be a few West End drafts in those stubby holders, that's for sure.
Kay Lotto did well there with the left hand. Just bring it down. Carpeny, but it's been pinched by Gregson. Kick quickly on. Hurries it into the forward line. Going back was Josh Scott with courage. Couldn't quite bring the mark in. Whipping through Hosey as well. Tyson Brown in game 50. Clever. Gets it to Era. Tight. Works his way through 1-2. Gives it to Brown. High clearing kick for South Adelaide. Abe Davis and overall both raffle it there. Joel Cross picks up the crumbs, sweeps his way through, and he was taken down, and the free kick is going to be on here. Jesse White, they're not happy with him. Overall's in there. Little's come in to help his mate. The umpire's called play on here. Emery with Prouders on the wing here. There's still a fair bit going on.
Yes, they're not happy with Jesse White. He knocked down Cross. Thankfully, Cross is back to his feet and jogging toward the ball. But just prior to that, Jesse White was involved in a scrap with Malcolm Carpenter. He had his angry pills and he took it out on Joel Cross. Now here's Emmanuel Era charging through the half-forward line, drop punt, heading toward goal. And it's just shaded across the face for a minor score.
Malcolm Carpenter fighting well out of his weight division. Here's the hit with Jesse White right after that stoush, straight across the front of Cross, which really put him down for an extended period, and then it was on right in front of the crowd just to razz them up a little bit. There is feeling out here, don't worry about that.
Clearing kick from Max Proud back into the centre of the ground, but read beautifully there. And going long is Summerton. Pomps South back into attack. Couple of flies overall at the front, sitting at the back, and fortuitous kick goes to Curran, and it came via Betterman. The youngster, South Australian under-18 representative last year, Betterman for Glenelg, as Tyson Brown gets it from Haran. Puts his speed on, tucks the ball under the arm, pops it up. Carpenter and Curran going at it. Nicholson with a little fumble. Okay, back to Will Gould. We heard Brad Agnew say he's as good as he's seen at that age. Will Gould, the 18-year-old, still can play for South Australia again this year as a handball over the top. Haran gives it off. Haynes, normally pretty cool customer in defence, and on this occasion drops it in nicely to Tyson Brown.
Just trying to take the sting out of the game. South Adelaide looking to regain top spot after Nord and their fighting victory last night have gone up there. There's plenty of feeling and plenty on the line here at the Bay.
Carpeting takes a good mark, quickly on looking for Overall, came out solidly, tapped it to his own advantage, now onto the boot. Kick was partially smothered. Good job there from Max Proud, but it's still going forward. South Adelaide well positioned here, going back with a flight of the ball. He read that expertly, Ben Heaslip. He's taken the mark, and that was impressive, and we'll go back now and try and kick South Adelaide's 5th goal.
Deep entry here, that's the difference here for the Panthers. And Heaslip can do his work, pushing his opponent under the ball. Really strong contested grab by the former Encounter Bay boy. Came all the way through the juniors as well. And South Adelaide got a great record of that.
Goal kicker in his last appearance against the Bays. 3 goals won this season. That's way off the mark. Goal umpire was charging to the near side. A minor score takes South Adelaide to 4 goals 8, leading Glenelg 2-3. So 1-3 in this quarter for South Adelaide and 1 straight for Glenelg. Liam McBean, who kicked 9 goals from 11 kicks last week against the Crows, still hasn't touched it. The Glenelg full forward, mitigating circumstances because the service hasn't been great toward him, and Brad Crabb's done an outstanding job just to contain him. But they need to somehow find a way to get McBean involved.
At the other end of the stat sheet, Mollop continues his great run of form with 14 disposals. Nicholson has 14 for the Tigers, and Abe Davis with 14 for the Panthers.
Costa to centre wing. Abe Davis happy just to knock it down and eventually over the boundary line. 22.5 minutes played in this second term. We played 27 minutes 10 seconds in term number 1.
Get the sense while there is a 17-point margin, this game is a lot tighter, and the way in which Glenelg scored against Adelaide with prolific run of goals, and particularly South, you get a sense that this could be a shootout at any stage.
Jesse White rifles it out. Motlop,
smothered
kick. Nicholson again picks up another one. That's 15 possessions for Nicholson. Rose, cool, calm and collected in a crisis down back, gives it to Brown. And the kick is okay to Nick Schwartz, who's been pretty prominent too. Schwartz coming up for possession number 14. Just drops it into Era. So South Adelaide maintaining control. Kick though, looking for Joel Cross. Marlon Motlop chipping in. Take it out of bounds. Glenelg fans, don't go anywhere. Peter Carey, Premiership captain in 85-86, will be joining us here at halftime.
I'm led to believe some of the footage is certainly going to put a smile on your dial. What an icon of South Australian football. We're going to have him alongside of us and grill him about his career, the flags, why he didn't go over to the VFL, and he's always got some great stories.
Not only a super player, but a super bloke as well. One of the nicest you'll meet. Here are the Bays going forward. Good body work from Scott. It spills to Hosey. The turnaround. He's got a good piece of it across the face of goal. Scott tracking it back. The bounce important here. And that's terrific work of South Adelaide. Well, they look to clear some pressure here. I think Summerton, who had it, got a little too much on it. It wobbles out of bounds on the full. And a chance now for Elliot Chalmers to restart for Glenelg. Scott leads into the pocket. Chalmers dances around the man on the mark, goes short. And inside the attacking 50 here, the mark's being taken by Corey Gregson.
Yeah, there have been a lot of those options for Glenelg when they've had that ball across half forward. That 40 to 50 metre range, if you can find those rather than continually asking the question long and deep, Scott always provides a contest. But these smaller type players have popped up throughout this afternoon. Gregson, welcome addition back to his home club this year. 19 disposals, 7 tackles, a goal last week against the Crows. This one is fading to the right-hand side, may not have the carry. Ben Haran takes a good mark down in the back pocket. Been impressed with Haran, appears to be injury-free and just moving around the ground a whole lot better. And when he is up and about, he's a very important part of what South Adelaide are about. Standing his ground there, close knockdown, couldn't complete the mark. Ball comes back quickly and rushing back, Haran's got it again. So he'll try his luck on the grandstand side where they've got multiple numbers here. And South Adelaide out of trouble with Haynes getting it from Rose. And his kick finds crosses, shaking off that heavy knock from Jesse White, drives for depth into the breeze. It was a good kick and a good mark from Liam Fitt. And Aaron Joseph, lucky there not to give away a 25. Very lucky. I think the umpire may have thought about it.
Abe Davis available in the middle of the ground, but Liam Fitz looking more direct than that. High ball, Glenelg with numbers. They had 3 around it, but stepping in over the back, Sam Overall had them covered and pulled down a man-sized mark.
Have a look at the hands around this ball, and he has almost taken the air out of the footy. Just clunked it, Sam Overall. Some days when he is on, he will light up the scoreboard, and that is a really good contested mark. Coming up for disposal number 4. And all of those have been contested so far.
As I mentioned, 10 goals last year, and in up to the season, they kicked a goal on the siren in the opening quarter. Sam Overall can't get it done here on the half-time siren, but that was a fabulous mark. And South Adelaide continue their great success in second quarters. That's 3 out of 3 this season. And at half-time, they've got an 18-point lead. South 4-9-33, Glenelg 2-3-15. Red Biglands, your thoughts?
They've weathered the storm, Glenelg. They've been under a lot of pressure, particularly in their back half. South Adelaide have been pretty methodical in the way in which they've chipped them apart and moved the ball through the centre of the corridor with some shorter passing. And I just get the sense, though, that Glenelg are now set for a second half in which they can adjust to their game style, free-flowing footy, and start to get their big, tall forwards into the game and use the ball a little bit better.
Crows AFLW Premiership player Courtney Cramey is joining us on the 7 broadcast today, and she's down a...
Motorbike riding, I like table tennis.
You've got them all covered, from motorbike riding to table tennis. That's a pretty wide variety. And tell us, what about school? Where do you go to school?
Here.
And you look like you might be a maths expert to me.
I like maths.
Well, look, congratulations. Hope you have a great day here as our statewide super mini-leaguer of the beat. Ash Lieber-Canet, congratulations to you, young man.
There we go. Well, thanks to Statewide Super, your local super team supporting your local footy. To get involved in the mini league, contact your local SANFL club. Pretty handy when your school is just behind you there, Glenelg Primary School, where many of the balls end up with the shots from goal to the right of screen. And right now it is South Adelaide Footy Club. They've been a little inaccurate, but they are 18 points up at half-time. Let's get underway with John Casey.
Tigers are the best third quarter team in the competition. They'll need to be here because they find themselves down by 18 points and just not doing enough in the forward line at the moment. Just the 2 goals for them. And Liam McBean, who kicked 9 goals last week, has not touched it.
Ice cold at the moment, not a disposal on the stat sheet. And I reckon that the coaching staff probably would have had a word to him about that. They need a lift from the big man. Let's look for a big improvement.
Ball in dispute. Emmanuel Era farms out a handball. Wanted little. It went to Brad Close. And he's dragged down in the tackle, so we'll have a stalemate. The umpire will come in. And we've played just on 45 seconds here of the second half. Rucks at it again. Michael Knoll for South Adelaide, one of the new faces in the SANFL this year. They're pressing here at the moment, the Tigers. They need a reward, though. They go forward. Hosey takes front possession. Ball knocked away from him. Good defensive work again from South Adelaide. And coming through strongly, Andrew Bradley, just caught a South Adelaide player. They gave him some hurry up. But the Panthers go forward, and this looks ominous for Glenelg. K Lotto with it. 50 metres out and closing. Unloads with a drop punt. Can't get it on target. It's through for a minor score.
Had a stack of time. Just needs some more instructional voice from the players around him to slow down. Had a flying shot at goal. And Cross started half forward. It's just the talent that South have through their midfield at the moment. The luxury to be able to rest him up there.
Little just careful not to go into the back of Nicholson, who's had plenty of the footy. Little give out from Gregson. McCarthy's been taken down. Schwartz trying to push off. I think Schwartz was looking for a free kick. He thought he might have had that there, but he's going to give that one away. Let's head down Courtney Cramey, Crows AFLW player, joining us today. Courtney, now we saw Nick Little get a bit of a knock early in the game, but is it a clean bill of health for everyone else at the moment?
Yeah, Nick Little did get a knock early in the first, just an innocuous one in a contest. But Joel Cross got that heavy hit in the second on from Jesse White, but he seems to be out there and doing just fine.
Lachlan Hosey's taken the mark here. This is exactly what the Tigers needed to start the second half. 24 goals last season at around 60%. So he'll fancy his chances from 45. He got it off the boot well, shading to the near side, but he's kicked the goal, and Glenelg are roaring.
And that was a much better lead up and lowering of the eyes with their ball movement for the Bays. They came around this member's wing, and it was actually from a kick in where they've gone the full length of the ground. Good strong lead up, no player dropping back. Because of the speed of the ball movement through the centre of the ground, it didn't allow any player to sag off. And they have got those one-on-ones in their attack. Just need to make sure they get in there quicker. Some nice balanced run from Nicholson on the counter-attack from a kick here, and they went the full length of the ground. And when you've got that precise speed of ball movement with real speed, tough to defend, and a nice finish on goal also.
Hosey with his first 23 goals from 13 games last year, and Glenelg have got some real momentum. A big fly from Hosey. Oh boy, he was up high but just couldn't complete it. Had the one hand out. It would have been an absolute cracker. Carpenter has given away the free kick here, so Nicholson, who is racking them up. This will be possession number 18 for Carl when he gets the chance to get it. Let's have a look at Hosey.
Look at the replay. Yeah, nice ride from Hosey. Pure elevation. Went with the one hand. Probably could have racked it in with two, but unfortunately spills it. His confidence is up.
Free kick with Rose in defence, goes to Brown, and just traversing across the Bay Oval here, and Ben Haran. So good start by Glenelg, just got the momentum flowing their way, and South Adelaide just holding things up at the moment, working methodically. There's a chance now to take off. Little give, comes from Cross, able to give it back to Sampson, son of Clay, and pops it up to the top of the square. 2-on-1 going back. Aaron Joseph reads it well.
Good strong grab. Nice run as well from Sampson. Didn't pull the trigger too early. Took on his opponent, got it deep. Just couldn't get a contest in the square.
Good tackle from Hosey, doing the defensive work as well. Umpire, though, has found a free kick there. And no problems at the moment at Randwick for Winks either. She has just annihilated them in her farewell run. You'll see all of that on 7 News a little later. But at the moment, the Bays have got some defending to do. They've got numbers around it, and eventually they scoop it up. Betterman getting involved. Joseph and Bradley. Betterman comes again, like what he provides down in the back line. Scott crashes the pack, knocked down Tyson Brown. He's playing his 50th game, and he's been in the wars today, Tyson Brown. Has taken a couple of high shots.
33 straight for Winks. I think that is, isn't it? 33, and she'll now retire and put her feet up for a little while, Biggles.
On the exact same day in which Black Caviar retired 4 years earlier. It's a big day in Australian sport when probably our greatest ever has her last run around Randwick.
Era, kick up to Carlotto. Talked a lot about his transition from defence to the forward line this year. Provided a real target up top of the square. Whittlesey held back, trying a couple of bites at it, can't get it. Joseph has been good in defence. Hurry kick going forward, free kick.
It's a drop kick.
Drop, it's been done. Free kick is going to go to South Adelaide. Let's have a look at this on replay.
A sense of nostalgia. Technically,
It's a drop
well,
kick.
that is a drop kick, but
It's been outlawed.
The rule states, you know, the ball has to be in contact with the boot, I believe. Big turnover here, though.
Liam Fett should put this one through for South Adelaide, and he does. They get the reply quickly from the Hosey goal at the 2-minute mark.
This is how vital the inside forward 50 tackling pressure is for both sides, but South Adelaide have probably capitalised on it the most. They've been relentless in keeping that ball in there, chasing down, harassment, trying to provide that perceived pressure to the defenders, which causes these turnovers. And interesting to see the reaction here. Nice reaction there on screen.
Well, let's take a look at that again on the National Pharmacy's optical replay. Looked like a drop kick to me, Red Biglands.
That was Liam Fett really just stalking him, though. The umpire saying that there was no clean execution of the kick, and they're tackling pressure inside forward 50 at the moment. They're really good so far. Whilst all over the ground it's been even, inside forward 50 for South, they've taken up a notch.
Noel wins the tap, got at the advantage of Swartz, who was taken high, so a free kick in the middle of the ground. Glenelg fans just getting a little restless here in the grandstand around us. And the hands in the back there, it goes unwhistled. And the mark's been taken here by Sam Overall, who's dispatched the number 7 jumper and is now wearing number 32. Kicked the goal of the day a little earlier, opening minutes of the second quarter. Certainly some X factor about him. Will Gould wanted a free kick. Your thoughts, Biggles?
No, well, I think Will Gould may have been pleading there. He needed to go back a little bit harder. The forearms were there. There was certainly no push. He was just protecting the drop of the ball and that marking area. Did a good job of it.
He likes it off the boot, Sam Overall, and the goal umpire hasn't moved. The Panthers have got a game-high 25-point lead.
And just as Glenelg sort of pinged one back in this third term, you thought, well, if they could get one more, it was really going to be a game on here at the Bay. But South have found a way. It's probably been with their execution of kicking that ball to advantage again. And certainly that shorter kick through the centre of the ground. Can you look at the kicking style here of Sam Overall? And he's pumped. Obviously got his second this afternoon. Nice strong grab up there. It's been a good target. Provided a great contest this afternoon.
Yeah, just the 7 games last year for the Carpenter. Free kick's going to go to Abe Davis there. He was held as he was trying to just escape out of the centre of the ground. So Brad Agnew penalised. Davis putting South into attack. They've kicked 2 in 2 minutes. Kick Colotto. He had 2 to deal with. Max Proud. And seen out over the line there.
Glenelg fans getting a little restless here, Soda, but the free kick count is 15 apiece. So it certainly hasn't been lopsided in terms of numerically, but perhaps some of the calls have seemed a little harsh on the Tigers. Here's another one. Max Proud wanted to restart, but the umpire said, no, it was touch. We're going to have a boundary throw-in.
It always looked like it was going to be a throw-in. I don't know if Max Proud was foxing Case. Just trying to get hold of it there as Jesse White and Overall go at it. Best position was Carpenter, but under intense pressure from McCarthy, couldn't get through. Little give to Cross, but he's not going to get out of the clutches of 18-year-old Will Gould, as I think Brad Agnew described him, a man-child. The boy from Lucendale. Cross takes it out of the ruck, gives a handball to Noble, and he goes high with his kick. Too skinny. Just another behind there for South Adelaide.
Cross is having a remarkable year again. We talked about his season in 2018, obviously a tragic loss of his father and a few other things which took his mind off footy. Still made the team of the year. Just has such high standards, the dual McGarry medalist, and well, he was 4th in the competition for disposals this year, and it just looks like he's got that real vigour and venom about him again.
And he's been in great form. One of the best last week in the win at Port Adelaide by 36 points. 24 disposals, 5 tackles, 6 clearances, 2 goals. He'll do it all for you. With a Swiss Army knife for the Panthers. McBean on all 4s at the moment, right at centre wing. While he heads back to the goal square, let's go to the Morn Team Forward Footy Trivia. And Red Biglands, who kicked 6 goals for the Bays in their 55-point win against South at Glenelg in 2017? There's some good names there. Terry Malera, Liam McBean, Josh Scott, or Willie Rioli. And while you ponder that, we'll go back to the play. Finn Betterman drives Glenelg forward. McBean, sandwich between Haran and Brad Crabb. They've put the clamps on Liam McBean. Just one disposal so far, and it was a handball. Close trying to draw a free kick. Umpire wasn't buying it. And South Adelaide have been relentless. They've just taken Glenelg out of their comfort zone. And we'll get back to the Morn Team Forward footy trivia for Rhett Bigland. He's a study of concentration, so I don't think he knows.
Channel 7 showed this game, am I right? Because I believe the man has retired way too early, and I'm going to take Terry Miller, and I still can't work out why he's not playing league football at the moment.
You got it right, mate. It was at this ground too. I recall, I think it was a pretty amazing game of footy as Little gives it, misses Emery. Joseph Emery just wasn't even expecting that handball from Nick. It came out too quick, and Glenelg giving a little reprieve here, so trying to run away and get through there, just drop a little. Kick is McCarthy. They can reset now. This is the skipper in Curran. Started the game off really well with a couple of nice intercept marks and wearing the number 5. The tradition now is for the captain to wear number 5, the number Peter Carey made so famous here. Here's Michael Knoll, came from Box Hill, had 4 years in the American college system in Iowa playing basketball before he wanted to try his luck at footy in the VFL, and now he finds himself here at South Adelaide with Keegan Brooksby gone. Betterman, the 18-year-old, spins out, gives it to Scharenberg, drops the kick in nicely to Costa. He can go inboard, and the kick is good, the shot.
Tom Schott wants to come laterally as well. He's got Nicholson. Just got some separation there from Hayden Sampson. Well, joining in, almost buying off more than he could chew, was Aaron Joseph. Good enough to get out of trouble. Now goes to Scott. Out 2 against 1 in the goal square, or at the front of the square. They get the loose ball. Quickly to Jesse White. He fires, and Jesse White kicks his first, and Glenelg aren't done with just yet.
Yeah, it was either going to be a free kick to Scott or the crumbing goal to Jesse White. One way or the other, they were going to get on the scoreboard. Great contest up there. Had a man hanging off the waist of Scott. Just get it in there quicker. That's the answer for Glenelg at the moment. And they're certainly not out of this game. You just get the sense that they control enough of the footy, use their composure more often. They'll get these opportunities. And there's a possible free kick there from Summerton on Scott, but crumbing at the ground level was the big man Jesse White, and they're asking a lot of him this year, the recruit. Probably didn't perform at his level last year, and that one just keeps them in touch with 20-point margin.
A couple of goals apiece to start this third term, but Glenelg looking a lot better than they did in the first half going forward. Scott, best position, couldn't mark it. Clearing kick from Haran out of defence, but read best by Curran. So another 4-0 forward for Glenelg. The kick is a bit of a scrubber. Getting back on it was Hosey, trying to hold it into the attacking half of the ground. Haynes drops it into Abe Davis, third and the best and fairest last year. His kick is good to Whittlesey. He's had to come up a long way. 5 goals last week against Port Adelaide. High kick, sits up at the back. Mark not completed. Proud, bit of a swing and a mix. In fact, it was Betterman. Bradley holding on to Little, and the free kick is going to go to Glenelg, and a 50-metre penalty.
Little in and under, as he always is, and yeah, not a clean disposal there. And then the kick, gee, was quick. Umpire right on the spot. Really enjoyed the interview with Jared Wright at half-time, how he mentioned the sense of expectation down at Noarlunga about finals this year and the talent they've got, of course, bundled out of last year's finals by the eventual premier. And no longer are they just here to make up numbers. There's a real belief that they can win it. And their competitive spirit you're seeing, if they can't find consistent performers, they'll find someone else who steps up. And that's about the link in the chain, which he is really working hard on.
Uncharacteristic error there from Marlon Motlop. They've coughed it up. Well, Hayden Sampson, well, he's got problems as well. Looked like he was holding the ball. Scharenberg with runners inboard. Close. Now Costa. He's got McBean all alone. Or Scott comes forward. Haynes diffuses situations. It's Hosey who pounces back on the ball. South Adelaide under duress here at the moment. Brad Close gets involved once more. There's an opportunity there for the Tigers, and they weren't able to take best use of it.
Yeah, Scharenberg was having nothing of the shake and bake. He was all over it. 13 disposals so far for Jonty, doing a wonderful job.
On cue, gets another. Wobbles it forward. McBean lurching forward. Couldn't get to the drop of the ball, and it's out of bounds. And it'll be a last possession restart for Brad Crabb. Joel Cross just catching his breath. South Adelaide restart, but they're going to have to bring it back here. Umpire not happy, and Hayden Sampson will retreat back to Brad Crabb. He's going to have his first kick of the day. 2 handballs so far. McBean has 1 handball. Game number 200 for the king of KI. Got his best effort off the boot, wobbles it forward, bowls everyone. Now, did anyone get a touch on that? The boundary umpire said they did. The home faithful aren't convinced.
Oh, they're a ruthless lot down here in the Bay. They were screaming for everything. They're right on top of the free kicks at the moment, but they're locked away at 17 apiece, and they feel there's not enough justice in the world at the moment. Not happy.
Jesse White with a paw out, but it was Nick Schwartz who stole it away. His kick, not his best effort either, but somehow found Sam Overall. He went to pass it, almost handball to the umpire. Went to Nicholson. He gave it back to them. This is Emery, the first gamer, inside the centre square. Measures the pass, goes into the pocket, but that's well done, Elliot Chalmers.
Well, that's a terrific grab. A ball coming in with speed, and he fights for front spot and backs himself. Rather than trying to spoil it, he took it out of the air. Well done.
Some interesting ink on the left thigh. Goes with the right foot, coming onto his carpeting. Kick is going to stay in. Going back, a couple of Panthers having a crack at it was he slipped in a good position, but couldn't quite bring it down. So in the forward pocket here, South Adelaide, 20 points, a couple of minutes away from time on.
Shows a bit of maturity for Elliot Chalmers. When that ball comes in so quickly and you're one-on-one out deep and you've been under siege all game to try and back yourself and take the catch out of the air rather than spoil it and do the easy thing, it's a good aspect to have. Missed a little bit of last year with a hamstring, and I reckon probably cement his spot and really improve this year.
Just continuing the Broken Hill connection here at Tigerland. Elliot Chalmers, his grandfather Bob, had the Toyota dealership in Broken Hill. Of course, Broken Hill provided Chris Duthie here and Spog Highwood, premiership players with the Tigers. And this is Will Gould, deep in defence. His kick needs to be precise. Didn't have to break stride there, and Andrew Bradley latches onto it. Now, they've got men out on the wing. If they can get it out wide, they're off and running here, the Tigers. And they do now. Nicholson, he wants someone to come at him. The lead charges out. It was a difficult one, and he's given away a free kick, Lachlan Hosey. The service wasn't great for him. Caught behind, and he was forced into error.
Yeah, they need to sharpen up their ball use as well. Glenelg, if they're to make some inroads into the scoreline here, they're just wasting some opportunities when they really have got some players on in space.
Clever work by Noble. Kick wasn't perfect by Noel, and whistle from the umpire, but no, that was all good. So chance now for Heaslip. He's 40 out, tightest of angles. He's trying to improve it a little bit.
It's Sam Overall sitting in the pocket there for an eternity, who actually wasn't calling for it. So he's going to send Heaslip back, who is a pretty good kick, coming up for disposal number 10. And Glenelg will be really frustrated with the amount of ball they've had.
Couple of goals against Port Adelaide last week. Kick 3 against Glenelg in round 1 last year, and this kick is just across the face. It was back on Good Friday. He kicked those 3 goals last year.
Key ball winners for both sides at the moment. Glenelg, Nicholson has 22 touches, 17 to Motlop, 19 to Swartz, and 17 to Abe Davis.
McBean front position, can't complete the mark, but it comes down to McCarthy, the left footer off and running. Asked a lot there of his forwards. South Adelaide with numbers. Taines taken out of the frame. Scott couldn't find it in the air, and the ball just comes back, and fortuitously for Liam Fitt was right on his wavelength. Now he drives long, one-on-one struggle. Overall, strong hands against Max Proud. The ball's come down. They get a touch on it. Sliding in to save the day there was Aaron Joseph, and collected the post, and he's slow to get back to his feet. The quick restart there. Noble wanted a free kick. Courageous work from Will Gould going back with a fly to the ball, but the free kick is there for Mark Noble. Handball to Davis, bounced off him, landed in the lap of Schwartz, and then gave it to Abe Davis. From 60, he unloads, got a good piece of it as well, and just coming across the face of goal for a minor score.
Aaron Joseph will be saying, give us a spell down here, lads. We just need a break. They haven't had any sort of mid-range football between the centre of the ground where they've had repeat stoppages. It's just been coming in furiously.
Joseph looking for Scott in the middle of 2 Panthers there overall, and also Somerton. Ducked into time on now. It's a 23-point lead to the Panthers. They're opening 2 matches. Had that good win against Central District and then another good win against Port Adelaide last week. Gould tries to just muscle his way through. Agnew on and able to escape a couple of Panthers and drops the kick in nicely. Quick turnaround and marks taken by McBean. He needs to be quick and he goes low and hard with the kick. It's a good one to Hosey. I think that was the first one for McBean. It's his second disposal, but first kick. And Hosey, we've seen, who kicked the goal at the 2-minute mark of this term just to try and get Glenelg going. He's going to have a chance here. Tight angle, but very capable, Lachlan Hosey.
Smart kick from McBean, because if he had to give it a bit of flight, it would have been smothered off the boot. But he punched it in underneath the outstretched arms of the man on the mark and finds Hosey.
Made his debut in 2017, and this kick across the face, taken through from behind.
Well, the short pass was on after he took the mark. He looked inside, wanted to go back and take the shot. Maybe a missed opportunity there for the Bays. 20 scoring shots to 8, South Adelaide. It's been dominant. The longer the game's gone, the better they've looked and the further that they've got in front. So Glenelg right up against it here. That's a good grab, Michael Knoll. Stood tall, 203 centimetres, 103 kgs. And a 25-metre penalty called here against Marlon Motlop, I believe. It was trying to track back with Abe Davis, so mitigating circumstances for Motlop, but a 25-metre penalty nonetheless.
Nice strong aerial work from Knoll, and Marlon Motlop coming right over the top of the mark.
Abe Davis launches deep. Oh, overall again. Standing on their shoulders, couldn't complete it. Worrying signs here for the Tigers. South Adelaide with numbers around it through sets of hands. Running into the open goal. It's Nick Schwartz. And South Adelaide go to a 28-point lead.
Get in long and high. Great contest from overall, looking for another hang. And then there was some collateral damage from Scharenberg and 2 other Tigers on the ground. It spills out the back, and the ever opportunist in Schwartz coming up for disposal, number 21, to get his 1 goal won this afternoon. 12 of those possessions contested, 7 tackles as well. Big fly from overall, got a ride, it spills over the back. There are players flying in everywhere here, collateral damage, handball over the top, and Schwartz having an outstanding game. 21 disposals, the most tackles on the ground for South Adelaide in 7, and 12 contested possessions for his first goal.
4 goals for the season for Nick Schwartz after missing last year with a knee problem, as Noel and White go into the ruck. Clearing kick comes from Glenelg, only as far as here. Have a look at him go. He's going to take them all on. He's had a couple of bounces running through the middle. Long kick. Overalls the target, has a bite, couldn't get a second one, then quick to recover, gets a quick little kick running out over the line, but fit will ensure that they don't give away the free kick as last possession. So South Adelaide with the chance just to reset here in their forward 50. Nearly 24 minutes gone, the break is 28 points, so Glenelg kicked 4 goals for the game. They're going to need at least 5 to get in front now from here and give themselves a really good chance. So South Adelaide in the box seat, hurried kick goes forward. Era trying to pounce quickly. Little Era just away from the fingertips. Carpenter back to Rose, just jams it on the left boot. Overall in position, Joseph over the top.
This is one of 3 games being played today. Updating the score from More Team Kia Oval, where the Adelaide Crows lead it at the moment very handsomely by 5 goals over the Eagles. Hugh Greenwood's kicked a couple. And 8-10 to 6-17. And there you see a 6-11 and 11-13 scores there from, and as you can see, Central and West Adelaide, with the Dogs holding sway at the moment.
Incredible game last night as well. John Casey, you're out there live for Norwood. That was certainly one that they'll be happy to win.
Indeed, Mitch Grigg was reported in the process and could have problems trying to win a 3rd Magarey medal. Rice gives 20 disposals for the Adelaide Crows. That game in the 3rd quarter.
A strong grab here. So they'll just need to create that space. There is opportunities with players leading up, but South Adelaide are doing a good job of blocking that hole. Noel finding his way here as well. He's sitting right up and in, and this kick probably not to the advantage of anyone just yet. And they've just been wayward. They've been pushing up the ground, but that smaller short kick which can just open up your whole play, because once you get in and over a line, You can then get that deeper entry, but at the moment they've been going long and high. It's really playing into South Adelaide's hands, particularly with their experienced defenders.
Inside 50 count, 45-35 in favour of the Panthers. Make it 46 as the kick comes in from Little, and he finds overall big strong hands out in front from Sam.
Well, that's some remarkable hands. That ball spinning in on Nana, he just plucked it. And get a look at it here. National Pharmacy's optical replay, that is just sweet. Out of the air. Kramers thought they were going to have a piece of it. And overall, who switched jumpers at half-time. Coming up for disposal number 9. Had a big impact today, though. 8 contested possessions. Coming up for goal number 3.
Couldn't get a game for Glenelg, Sam, overall, so we went down to Noarlunga and pulls this one just across the front. So 2-2 for Big Sam. Hurt himself last year, didn't get to play a lot of footy, but he's a terrific target for South Adelaide when he's up and going like he is today, Big Sammy overall.
Might be a lot of time left on the clock, nearing the 27-minute mark of the third term. And Glenelg just not doing enough at the moment. South Adelaide looking to start the season 3-0 as Norwood has. Norwood's won 3 games, all by less than a kick. Here's Joe Haynes with it, paddles it to his own advantage, goes with a left boot out wide. Reading that a little better than anyone was Finn Betterman. Couldn't complete the mark against K-Lotto. Aaron Joseph ran into trouble, came back for seconds though, farms it out. And now the handball comes from Gould into the back pocket, and a chance now for Bradley to release some pressure, and he finds Jesse White. Disposal number 10 coming up for Jesse White. Goal kicker in this quarter. Not a lot on offer, so he just decides to go for distance. Out to centre wing of the outer side here of ACH Group Oval, but it favoured Noel, and the longer the game's gone, the better he's got as well. Feeds cross. Kicks around the corner, and out on the lead mark's been taken by Tom Whittlesey. He does likewise around the body, close to the boundary line overall. Kept it alive, got it to Noble, pinned on the boundary line, the impossible angle, it's across the face of goal. It's missed a lot. Last possession restart for Carl Nicholson and the Tigers.
Going into this game, you probably would have thought the stoppage work would have had a fair influence on the outcome. Well, clearances at the moment, 30-27 in favour of South Adelaide. It's been more of their work around with the ball and finding their targets, the efficiency once they've gone inside forward 50, and whilst they've both got great midfields, it certainly has been decided by foot.
Rose to Noble again, who's busy this time, top of the square. A fly from K-Lotto, couldn't hold on to it. Will Gould reads it well, just a little chipping kick, gives it to Close, deep in defence. 28.5 minutes gone. It's a 5-goal buffer that South Adelaide enjoy at the moment. Nicholson, long kick. He's had plenty of it today. 24 possessions for him as Hosey content to see it out.
Tackle counts fairly even, 44-41. Disposal efficiency is actually in favour of Glenelg, but the sense they're getting at the game is that they've wasted a lot of the ball. 2 defenders sitting off for their stoppage here. There's the siren for 3/4 time.
Well, South Adelaide in a strong position right now. They lead by 30 points, 7-16, 58, 4-4, 28.
These days. The sisters with gold together, and they break the world record.
Mills, catch and shoot, got it in rhythm.
Up by 30 points right now. Nick Schwartz enjoying a good game. Sammy overall providing a great target up forward with Alex Coletto. Let's head down now to Courtney Cramey.
Yeah, we're here with Mark Stone. Mark, what was the key message to the boys at that break? 30 points down going into the final term.
Well, we're going to have to attack, but we haven't defended their talls very well in our D50, and in doing that, we've lost our shape in front of the ball. So the only way, really, we can give ourselves a chance is keep shape in front of the ball, keep 6 forwards, and get it in and just see if we can get some goals off the ground.
And young Will Gould's holding up well in defence there.
Oh, he's had a reasonable day. He's been beaten a couple of times, but he's only young. He'll learn from that.
Thanks, Mark.
Good on you, Courtney. Well done, Mark Stone, there for the time as he hurries up to the box here to try and work out how we can peg back this 5-goal lead. And the man he is talking about, Will Gould, if you've just joined us, is an 18-year-old who's playing some terrific footy. Let's have a look at these two, Carl Nicholson, Nick Schwartz, both been really good contributors, Biggles.
Nicholson probably hasn't been as efficient as Schwartz, only 58% disposal efficiency, but they're both the real hard ball winners. Contested possessions locked away there, and they both had a lot of inside 50. 7 to Nicholson, 6 for Schwartz.
Final quarter action underway, ACH Group Oval. Liam McBean into the ruck to try and get him involved in the game. Noel stood tall though, farmed out a handball. Not a lot of distance with it, and it's Elliot Chalmers getting involved there for Glenelg as well.
I love the honesty of Stoney. It's one area they certainly have been beaten on in the air. Contested marks at the moment, 10 to South Adelaide, 2 to the Bays, only 2.
Gould couldn't take the marks and went with the fists, so a chance here for South Adelaide after the free kick. Liam Fitt, dangerous in this situation, pinned on the boundary line. That's a fair effort bringing it back, but he's overcooked it. Across the face of goal, and Glenelg will restart through Max Proud in the back pocket. Out of bounds on the full was the call, and Proud, he looked for McBean. Noel from behind, slaps it down. Abe Davis lost his footing. Good tackle, in fact a high tackle that's been assessed from Brad Close against Heaslip. And we know he's a big kick. Young Benny Heaslip, a chance for him to unload from just outside 50.
Low and hard, getting in, eyes on the footy, clean take off the ground. One of the hardest things to do in footy is to take it off the deck with so much pressure coming around you, not take your eye off the ball but be clean with it. And well, we know Benny Heaslip, he's a superstar and did a great job of that. Had 2 opportunities today to get on the major scoreboard.
Goal kick in the last time against Glenelg. He comes in. Oh, that's not his best effort. Going for distance and has shanked it out to the right. Never got it on target.
I'm singing the praises of Noel as well, the new recruit for South Adelaide. Just bringing that one to ground with a spoil, doing the percentage thing, 7 contested possessions, 20 hit-outs for the big man.
Curran working as a general across half-back. Kick up the shot, couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, their structures so far, South Adelaide, whilst they've had a good group of core players who have now rolled on to season 2019, they've got a lot of experience in them. Majority of them played finals last year, and this flows into setups and structures. They don't have to guess where to stand or what to do. They know these instinctive things, well drilled over summer also.
Close sweeps into Gregson. Kick is smothered. Sampson flicks it out to Brown, to Little, and his kick just doesn't find his target. Curran falls and gives at the same time. Clever as he lost his balance, and South Adelaide under a little bit of pressure now because McBean has it at half forward. Quick to get things moving. It's a good kick out to Josh Scott. So he took a terrific mark in the first term, and a bit of a quiet day for Scott. Best and fairest winner a couple of years ago.
It was a really nicely weighted kick to advantage for the versatile Josh Scott, who led out to the fat side of the ground with plenty of space. Normally kicks multiple goals in most matches he plays.
Shaved the head yesterday for little Enzo, 7-year-old with progeria, a very rare ageing disease, but Josh just pulls that across, but looking to get on board and help raise some money to send the young man off, I think it is to Dallas in America, to get some treatment.
If you're thinking about the injuries for both sides, it's pretty good at the moment. Probably Benny Sawford 3 to 4 weeks with that knee injury for the Bays. Probably one of the starting options for Glenelg, missing from this afternoon's match.
Good restart coming there from Rose. Good distance with the kick up to the defensive side of the centre wing. Now the umpire will come in. 3.5 minutes played here in the final quarter. I mentioned those other games being played. The Eagles hosting the Adelaide Crows, and Central and West Adelaide at it. And the game tomorrow, Port Adelaide hosting North Adelaide from Alberton. Tight contest at the moment. South Adelaide have had the answers all day. Torpedo the ball forward. Couldn't complete the mark there, Curran. Now the chance opened the door. Ben Heaslip. Well, he ran into Gould, whose tackle was a strong one. Heaslip tried again. Chalmers involved. Gould doing excellent work. Ball bounce beat everyone except for Aaron Joseph. His handball over the top to Nicholson, who's looking up to centre half forward. Motlop caught behind here. Goes at it with one hand. Rose right there with him. The 2 number 8s going at it. Good work from Brad Crabb to handball off the carpet. Emmanuel Era for Rose. Slow hand pass. He set Tyson Brown up. Era kept running and the ball came back to him now with a drop punt. Max Proud takes front position against Overall. Had to go to ground though to get the spoil effectively. And now Overall. Time for some think music. Handball's over. Cross. Evasive. Looks for Little. Couldn't complete the mark. Good pressure provided there by Josh Costa. Going in hard as well is Little. Came up with a loose ball. And he's wrapped up in a strong tackle by Finn Betterman, and the umpire will come in. 5 minutes played last quarter here at Glenelg.
And the Bays controlled the footy. They looked to come through the centre of the ground. Corey Gregson actually spot up. It was a risky kick at the back of the square, but here's a shot on goal for the Panthers to the jet. In cross. Nailed it. What a superstar he is.
Joel Cross
continues to find just the footy soda. He's remarkable,
terrific, isn't he? Just the thing, he couldn't get a game in the VFL after he came out of Scoresby in the Eastern League, and he's been an absolute star here in South Australia.
Let's take a look at that again on the National Pharmacies optical replay. Never pay full retail price at National Pharmacies, but you'll get full value from Joel Cross every day of the week.
One of his attributes is to be able to break from stoppage. Take the 4 or 5 steps, knowing that you're going to have someone right up your hammer, but he continually does it. Just a rare trait.
South Adelaide with a chance for another clearance here, and this is Abe Davis. Abe Davis gives it to Sampson. Just a little bit of a hit and hope. Open the door for Glenelg as Agnew, his kick is smothered, and Sampson cleaned up. Davis with it, and South Adelaide into attack again, into the 50. Overall, couldn't take the mark. Little give forward, so South still alive here. Whittlesey, quick kick comes from Schwartz into the pocket, just trying to manufacture something, was fit, and Noble's over the top. And while we get the bounce, let's go to the 200 game of Brad Crabb. Brad, big game for you, obviously. Well done. Congratulations on the milestone. Liam McBean coming off 9 goals. You've held him nicely, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Still another 20-odd minutes to go, so he's got to stay tight here and keep making the most of the opportunities.
Congratulations on the milestone. It's certainly a big game for the football club to regain top spot, but the pressure, I thought, through the midfield had really allowed you guys down back to do your work.
Definitely Crossy, Lids, Knowles in the ruck. They really made the most of the first opportunity and getting it forward, so we've just got to keep doing that until the end of the game.
And Brad, they shut down Kangaroo Island today, so most of the island's here to see you play 200.
Yeah, they all got the free tickets as well, so they don't like spending much money, but no, it's good to have the support from the island.
Well done, mate. We know the Iron Fist T-shirts are about, and the stubby holders are sold out already. A wonderful performance, mate. 200, great stuff.
Thanks, guys.
There he is, Brad Crabb. He's been a terrific player. Been around for a long time, 07. Played footy with Clay Sampson, was coached by Clay Sampson, now playing with Clay Sampson's son Hayden. But terrific player, Brad Crabb, and a wonderful servant for the club as the ball heads over the back. Noel, as you said, he's sort of really come into the game nicely as it's gone on. He hasn't played a lot of footy in his past. Came from that basketball background. Turnover, Noble under pressure, close to the line, out of bounds, and that came from Josh Scott.
Those missed kicks there. That's the one where Mark Stone is just really scratching his head, saying, how do you miss that kick inside forward 50 with no pressure around you? And it's just the perceived pressure that they're putting on themselves at the moment, Glenelg. They've had a lot of footy, just wasted so much of it.
Jesse White wrestles it away from Noel, charging toward goal. How about that for a goal of the day audition from Jesse White?
Gets his second, follows up from the stoppage work. Tried to bring it to ground. It was really something from nothing. He's just so agile for a man of his size. Real twist and turn about him, and then we know that he's got a beautiful kick on him. And certainly today he hasn't been the worst player for Glenelg. He's battled manfully, had a lot of time up forward. But that was a really nice second effort. Just have a look at this. Jesse White putting in his nominations for goal of the year. Spin out of the ruck, tapped it to himself, broke from stoppage and said to Joel Cross, you want to do it up your end? Well, watch a big man do it. And then gets his second. Beautiful goal.
Nice finish from Jesse White. 127 AFL games, averaged it better than a goal a game at that level, but spent a lot of time in the ruck in his season and a bit so far here at Glenelg. Just the 3 goals last year, but he's got 2 today. Free kick, Carpenter. Wants to get things moving quickly. Left foot, long one, top of the square. Big pack, fly at the back was Current. Comes out quickly, proud to Will Gould as he continues to rack him up, the teenager. And Chalmers gives it on to Betterman, another teenager. His handball just is going to wobble out over the line. There's Nick Little. 5 Nucky Cups, 5-time best and fairest winner. Only Jimmy Dean with 6. And Peter Darley with 7 have more than that man. What a little talent he's been from Coburg.
Southern clubs playing for the Peter Carey Darley Cup this afternoon. 2 champion stalwarts and a wonderful segment on Peter Carey at half-time of today's game. It was really enthralling.
McBean wins the tap there. Might come back to him. Here he is. Can he do it again? So Glenelg looking to press here, get something happening at the offensive end for them as Luke Reynolds rarely sighted today. Left foot. And wanting a free kick there, Lachlan Hosey. And a 25-metre penalty is going against South Adelaide as well. So Hosey will go to the goal square and is going to slam this through and kick his second goal. It'll be back-to-back goals for Glenelg in the space of 2 minutes.
Some good work there from Luke Reynolds. That finishing kick, the value of that finishing kick going up to your leading forwards inside forward 50, triple the weight of value of any other kick around the park. Luke Reynolds spotted up a leading Hosey who jumped probably a little bit too early, and very fortunate actually to get that free kick in the end. But it was the kick to him that really demanded someone come at him. The Basin still in touch here. That free kick there, well, could have really been play on. Nice fly at the footy from Hosey, but the kick coming in from Luke Reynolds really demanded someone lead up at him. It was a nice disposal.
Right back into the ruck for the Bays. Back-to-back goals for them. Just the second time today. South Adelaide have had their measure. Panthers led by 14 points at quarter time, by 18 at half time, and by 30 in the third term at three-quarter time. So good fight back from Glenelg. They want more petrol in the tank though, and the quick kick comes there from Elliot Chalmers. They're going forward again. Diffusing the situation there for the Panthers. It's a good job by Brown, but the ball spills loose now. Tom shot around the body. He's way off the mark here. It's out of bounds on the full, and the Panthers will restart. Middle stages of this final term. They've closed to within 23. Another goal here would put some scoreboard pressure on the Panthers, but they seem to have it under control for the moment.
One thing we know about the Tigers is that they certainly are a fit side. Their second halves have been really strong, and they're coming hard here.
Jesse White goes around the body. McBean well positioned, front position against Crabb, who's done a great job all day. 200-game celebration has been a good one for him. And in this day and age, we're not going to see too many 200-gamers, so good to celebrate it here with Brad Crabb and the Panthers.
Particularly with a player who's come through the junior ranks. It means so much to a football club when you've acknowledged all the trainers and everyone who's had an instrumental part in your career, and Crabb's just done that since he's come over from KI. Played a flag when he was 15 or 16, I think, and be desperate for some success and finals action down in Noarlunga.
Chalmers pumps Bays into attack again. Big fly came from over the top, and Paul just paddled out close as South Adelaide take it over. Whittlesey under pressure from Gould, just butters up, drops a little kick in, close, and then another kick is good, and it works beautifully. Finds Hosey. He's been pretty lively. Came from shot, and he's been a good target for them, Hosey. And a couple of quick goals from Glenelg here, and there is still plenty of time for anything to happen.
Shot now with 15 disposals, and that ball inside really didn't give any look in for the South Adelaide defence. Low and hard, and a diving mark from Hosey.
Hosey looking for back-to-back goals. He has, and he's got his third. 17 points is the break.
A little bit of belief down here at Tigerland. You can sense it in their applause. Never count them out with their fitness and their running ability. So in this final term, a couple of players who really having an impact here for the Bays. Chalmers with 5 disposals in this final term, Betterman with 5, and Close with 4, getting plenty of it. Nice little disposal, probably up. Glenelg have had these opportunities. Fast leading Hosey coming up in the football. They've been there throughout the day. They've just burnt the ball. And now they're converting. We know they're a fit side. They just remain in contact.
Jesse White starting to get on top in the ruck as well. Here he is against Noel. Loose ball, active hands from Brad Close, knocked down. Bradley gets involved. This is McCarthy with a run of it, wouldn't sit for him. Then he ran into the big man, bounced off him. Good evasive skills there. Kick around the body, bounce important here. South Adelaide with numbers, but they've got some defending to do. Hosey getting involved once more. Here's Emmanuel Era, who drives for distance to get it out of the danger zone and went for Noel. Couldn't complete the mark against multiple opponents. That's intelligent from Little there. It's almost the old Russell Liebert hand pass. Loose ball, Haran gets it onto the boot, just trying to buy some real estate. Likewise, Carpeney. Now they're inside their attacking 50 on the bounce. Eludes Max Proud, favoured Overall. Got support. Overall gets it back. Got it from Whittlesea. Can line up from here. 45 out. He likes it off the boot and he seals the deal. That could be the winner for the Panthers.
Well, that's a massive goal against momentum, because they really just were fighting for their lives here, South. They're almost up against the ropes, and Glenelg throwing multiple punches. What a kick just off the back step, though. Really lean onto it from Overall, just hit it flush. He missed a couple earlier on. That one there is just beautiful. Attack of the footy from Overall. Came back, gets it back from Whittlesea. This one here off 2 steps goes bang, and that was really against the momentum. Glenelg were coming hard in this final term. Multiple goals against traffic, that one.
3 goals to Overall, and still only 23 years of age. He's been around for a little while down at Noarlunga. Schwartz has had a good day today. He's not going to get out of the Andrew Bradley hold. Look at Schwartz's numbers, but 22, and plenty of those contested, 12 in fact. The #1 contested ball winner for South Adelaide on the ground. Going in there with the head, comes out to Bradley. Tyson Brown, game number 50, just overruns it. Crab in game number 200, working hard against McBean, who's been limited to just the 5 disposals today and given up a free kick here. So Crab has it at half-back. Still a bit of time if Glenelg are good enough. We're not into time on yet. Whittlesea presents up 5 goals last week against Port Adelaide. A tougher day for Tom. He's had 15, but hasn't hit the scoreboard today.
Yeah, that's the thing about South Adelaide today. They had a spread of goal kickers. Overall with 3. Goal to Joel Cross out of stoppage. Schwartz has got 1. 2 to Liam Fitt, and a couple to K Lotto as well. So they've had multiple avenues towards goal.
Target was White. Onto it quickly was Jonty Scharenberg, taken down just as he got his kick close. Flicks it, under pressure. South Adelaide holding up well. It was Brown that got the fist in, came to Davis, back to Brown. High kick and a clear mark taken by the skipper Curran. Keen to get things moving straight across goal. Nicholson still chalking them up. Possession number 28, so he's leading everyone on the ground in terms of getting hold of the footy as Will Gould, long one, into the attacking 50. Good position there. Mark not completed. Comes back to Hosey. A high ball, 2-on-1. Coming back, and Haynes. Pretty reliable in defence, Joey Haynes. Most improved player last year at the club.
Finds Emmanuel Era in the back pocket. Centering kick from him. Chance for the Panthers just to take some time off the clock here as well. Summerton does just that. Next to come to the grandstand side here of ACH Group Oval. Overall is the target, and he climbs high and claims another mark.
That is a really strong contested mark. That's his 5th for the afternoon now. Glenelg have just had 2 contested marks in their whole side. Glenelg really, South Adelaide really dominating the airwaves. 11-2. That one there just clunked it.
Overall fires the attacking side of centre wing. Scharenberg with the loose ball. Joseph got it from Bradley. Uses Motlop. Not a lot on offer. Just hoists it toward McBean, who was caught out of position. High flyers again. And Scott involved in the pack, and he's come off second best here. He's in a lot of pain, Josh Scott. Looks as though it might be a wrist. He's clutching his arm. Play goes on. It could be a goal. It's shading toward the near side. McBean wants to claim the mark, but Josh Scott's in big trouble at centre half forward. Umpire is calling for the assistance of the trainers here, and this is a lot of pain for Josh Scott.
At all.
That is a horrendous break. He's in enormous pain straight away, grabbing that left arm, and we could actually hear the screams from here. Look at his face, just menacing. They're going to have to get the green whistle out there. You can see it's almost at a wrong angle. We don't like to look in there, but he is in enormous pain, and they're going to stop the game here as he came down. Courtney will be all over that one. They need to get some trainers out there with that pethidine whistle pretty quickly, just to take the pain. Here's another look. Flies high. Now, is it the left arm that makes contact with the ground that goes first of all, or is it the right arm? It's his right arm that he grabs, so that was tucked up underneath him. Someone takes one look at him as well, just grimacing in pain. Still down out there at the moment. The doctor's with him, but that is a big blow for Glenelg, one of their stars. Been consistent this afternoon, and you hate to see a player in so much pain, screaming for the medical trainers.
South Adelaide staff there to support the Glenelg crew as well. Terrible scenes. Josh Scott, high flyer, and as you can see, in a lot of pain here. Looks as though he's broken his right arm, and he'll slowly make his way off the ground. Might be a chance for us to just update some scores from the other games being played. There were 2 other games this afternoon. Woodville West Torrens hosting the Adelaide Crows. The Eagles have won their last 5 there. There's last night's result with Norwood and Sturt. But Adelaide, with Bryce Gibbs, 27 disposals. Pat Wilson had 35 to lead all comers, and out at Elizabeth Oval will Central District have a 20-point lead over West Adelaide. Now that's going to leave West Adelaide as the only team without a win after 3 rounds. Norwood undefeated 3-0, and South Adelaide on their way to a 3-0 start. And Port Adelaide against Richmond coming up straight after this game, and then the Crows in North Melbourne on this football marathon here on 7 Sport. And tomorrow's game in the SANFL, Port Adelaide against North Adelaide. Mark Stone, the coach of Glenelg, obviously concerned down to the boundary line from his coaching position next to our commentary spot. And a nice warm round of applause for Josh Scott. I don't think it's going to make him feel too much better. He is in a lot of pain, and that is a terrible injury sustained by one of the best in the business in the SANFL.
Yeah, it looked like he may well have snapped the radius and the ulna, both those bones of the forearm. For Josh Scott, horrible news for Glenelg Football Club, but we'll try and find out exactly if that is the case. As kick comes from Abe Davis up to half forward. Will Gould continuing to just grow in stature, this 18-year-old boy from Lucendale. Johnny Scharenberg receives a handball, goes up to a half forward, coming across. There was Summerton. Tackle from McBean was on there, on Crab. Comes out to the boy from Uganda. Little kick from Emmanuel Era, and he gives it to Little. Got the knock early on in the game, Little, but has bounced back beautifully. And again, plenty of the footy for Nick Little, getting up to possession number 20. More than half of those are contested. Been an absolute star for the South Adelaide Football Club since crossing over from Coburg. Was coached by Andy Collins when he was playing over there. Ball coming back. Mark not taken. Coming through Little. Slaps it forward. McCarthy with him. Here is Gould again. Just farms out a big right-hander. Costa with speed too. Whippets in Costa and Noble going at it there. And the mark's taken by Hosey. And the umpire is going to say to someone, you're going to come back, and is that 25 metres?
Hosey's just taken a nice little platform dive here, straight off the 3-metre platform, and just conned the umpire into this one for a 25. Summerton just really lent on him. He'll make the most of his opportunity, though.
Hosey's kicked 3, 2 of them in this term, and kick 4 for the game. Hosey, been a good target.
Yeah, he's competed well. We know he's a live wire as far as his energy and, you know, his bounce around the forward line. I suppose it's his consistency which the coaching staff will be looking for him That's a nice kick on goal, though. And whilst the margin is still 16 points, time may get the better of them. Here's the lead up. Somerton, wow, it was a lean on. It wasn't really a 25-metre penalty. Nonetheless, though, that's 4 goals for Hosey. That's a pretty good return.
4 of the 6 in the second half for Glenelg. Mentioned a little earlier, I think if for mid-season draft, he could be a target. I like what he does, can kick the ball well and take a good grab. So almost 25 minutes played here in the final term. Glenelg back to within 16 points here. This is as close as they have been since early in the third quarter. McBean takes the mark, wheels around, the lead is on. He looks for Hosey once more. They go to him again. Couldn't complete it. Haynes is there with a fist. Getting after it now. Emmanuel Era shrugs one tackle. Gets beyond Hosey, who found the ball on the ground. What a cameo this has been. He turns around and he's fed the ball to Will Gould, who somehow from the back line has gone forward and will look to come up with the goal, his first at SANFL level.
Hosey with some groundwork, spins inside. Will Gould, pressure kick.
For his first goal in the SANFL to bring the margin back to within 10 points, he misses to the near side.
See, that goal from overall that he kicked at the 15-minute mark was important, wasn't it? Against the flow, and it just has kept Glenelg at arm's distance.
Certainly, you're right, Soda. Other than that, in this final term, it has been all Glenelg. We know how fit they are. They've won the disposal count by about 20 in this final term. Had multiple opportunities, but that one there could be very handy.
Davis had hands on it, couldn't complete it. Nicholson gives it off to Agnew, comes back. Bounce doesn't favour Agnew, so Nicholson with his kick going forward again. Glenelg, Will Gould hanging around the forward line now, the defender, and getting right amongst it. And here we go, kick around the corner from Corey Gregson, the former Cat. Wowee, they're within 9 points.
Persistence is paying off here for Glenelg. South Adelaide defence really needs to catch a breath. There's a great pick up from John Casey. It was Jesse White in the middle who's been having an influence. He's been following up ground level, clearing a path for his on ballers. He had a clearance just in front of us, which was in general play. And he's getting the ball at the highest point. Having a bit of a lesson with Noel at the moment. Well, there's a glimmer of hope down here at the bay, and the prodigy son has returned to the bay, and Gregson snaps around the corner, and we've got a 9-point margin.
Took over 27 minutes played, but a long stoppage because of the injury to Josh Scott. So still time for the Bays. Quick kick came there from Elliot Chalmers. Up and down. Again, it was Jesse White getting involved, and now Motlop goes forward. They want Gould. Good body work there at the back, though, by Jake Somerton. He'll be happy to wrap this up and buy some time.
That injury to Josh Scott, Will Gould's gone forward. He was getting a lot of the ball in defence, the 18-year-old, in just game number 3, and he's already providing a target, Pickles.
Yeah, continue work rate and popping up. And South Adelaide need their leaders here to stand up and just slow play down.
Motlop with a kick right into the square. 2-on-1 and the mark has been taken by Reynolds. Wow, this will put them within 3 points, and you'd still think there's got to be a couple of minutes to go, given that there's been 7 goals already this term, plus the injury. Pause to Scott. Reynolds puts it through, and the Bays are right in at 3 points of difference.
No, they've just chipped away like a big chunk of ice. They've just continually chipped away and found an avenue towards goal, and it's come from the centre bounce. South Adelaide need to get repeat stoppages at the centre bounce so they can get hold of the footy at the moment. You look at the Glenelg huddle as they meet. South Adelaide just going straight back to their positions, but the Glenelg huddle and the centre bounce are getting offensive. Reynolds backs himself, long high ball. The Panthers somehow have given up a massive lead. Glenelg within 3 points, and it's all come from the centre bounce.
Well, they kicked 4 goals in the first 3 quarters, Glenelg. They've kicked 6 here in this final quarter. And look at the clearances. The lopsided nature is all due to Jesse White. In the ruck once more. They get the tap. Here they go. Marlon Motlop. This will be some sort of recovery. Motlop dances to 45. He's dragged the kick. It's a minor score. He lets South Adelaide off the hook.
Panther concentration is not switched on. Prior to that bounce, they had a 5-minute convention between Jesse White and Motlop. You knew the ball was going to end up with him, and South Adelaide couldn't defend it.
Cross high, giving away a free kick. So here's a chance for Chalmers now. They've had 6 clearances in a row. Glenelg, he just drops a little kick in. It's a good one. McBee was the hero last week with 9 goals. Hasn't had a lot to do today. He's been well helped by Brad Crabb. And could this man do it? Can he make the difference? 2 points is the break. This would be absolute theft if Glenelg get it. But gee, they've worked hard. They've been consistent and persistent in this last term.
Oh, their clearance work, midfield is working hard. The timekeeper, I reckon he's got his hand on the button. It's got to be close. Pressure kick from McBean.
Liam McBean could win it for Glenelg with this kick. And it's gone across the face, so it's a 1-point game. 30 minutes have ticked by. We've had a bunch of goals kicked, 8 in fact for the quarter, plus the injury to Josh Scott. Looks like he could have broken his radius and his ulnar.
And dare I say, another great game where you have the clock counting up rather than counting down. No one knows how long to go. The Bays are coming hard here against South Adelaide, who have stopped to a walk. Hot contest at the moment. Elliot Chalmers gets involved again. Here's Motlop, a little undecided, running past Curran, the captain. He's knocked down, taking the kick, called to play on Tyson Brown. Now Curran has stayed down as well, going back with the ball. Aaron Joseph takes the mark. Go long is the call. They look for McBean. He comes out strongly against multiple defenders. Luke Reynolds has taken it. Reynolds has taken the grab well within range.
What a moment, what a grab. In from the side, all eyes were on McBean. Leading the Ken Farmer, we thought he was going to pluck it, and Luke Reynolds has been instrumental in this final turn. Surely the timekeeper just twitching with the fingers. The siren cannot be far away.
Well, they've kicked the last 3 goals, 6 of the last 7. They were 35 points down when South kicked the first goal of this quarter. Reynolds is across the face. It's a minor score. Don't rule out a draw.
It's all square. Wow.
This is incredible. The opportunities they've had. Motlop running into an open goal. McBean normally kicks them. Reynolds normally kicks them.
Haynes is a long kick. It's a big cleary one. Haran with the contest, and the umpire very quick to get hold of things here. They're gonna throw it up at the half-forward line. Scores a level. We're over 30 minutes. In fact, we're nearly into 32 minutes. 8 goals and a big injury. Stoppage time. Hurry kick. McBean one-on-one against Crabb, the 200-gamer. McBean needs to keep it in. He couldn't. Crabb did well there.
Experience from Crabb. Just the top of his knuckles getting the ball over the line. No deliberate. Had to disguise it. This is just incredible. How many inside forward 50s in this final time? How many opportunities do the Bays want?
South Adelaide led by 30 points at 3/4 time. Abe Davis with a clearing kick. Here's the opportunity. The kick is a wobbler, and it's gone out in the fall. Oh boy, that was Finn Betterman, the young teenager, just swung it on the boot and just missed it behind.
32.5 minutes played. Scores level. These teams have played 228 games and had just 2 draws. But overall, wrestles his opponent out of the way. Almost completed the mark. Betterman gets involved once more. The umpire's going to come in. They're doing all the attacking here, Glenelg. And there's the siren. It is a draw. After being 35 points down early in the final quarter, Glenelg has climbed across South Adelaide and get them on level terms. Glenelg 10-10-70, South Adelaide 9-16-70, and the Bays had their chances there to steal it.
That is just a remarkable finish. You don't know who to feel more sorry for. South Adelaide controlled the game through 4 quarters of football, and then Glenelg just came home strong, had that many shots on goal. The last shot on goal, missing the point post by millimetres. All they needed was the other side, and that was a victory to the Bays.
It was the teenager Finn Betterman almost did a Barry Breen. He would have heard of Barry Breen because that happened back in 1966. It was just a huge final term. We're going to head down onto the ground. Courtney Cramey is with the captain of the Bays.
Wow, what a game that was, and it's a really weird feeling down here. Chris Curran, just talk us through it. You came and you just couldn't get it on the board at the end there.
That's right, we're coming home pretty hot, but probably had no right to be that close, to be honest. We probably got beaten for at least 3 quarters.